Good evening. How is everybody? I've just noticed I don't have YouTube chat working. Excuse me. Let me see if I can pull this up another way so I can see the live chat. Maybe I can do it here. Okay, I'll check the live chat on my iPad. Hopefully that won't ruin the stream. Say hi in the chat if you're here, if you're early. We're waiting for Microsoft to start their live stream on Twitch. We are joining stage 30 of their world tour tonight. This is Nuremberg to Prague. That's the flight we're doing. So yeah, we're just waiting for Microsoft. As you can see around, there's a bunch of other people all waiting to take off. Someone trying to fly an airliner. Bunch of smaller planes. We're all here waiting for Microsoft ready to go. So I'm just refreshing the stream, and as soon as it's up, I'll get that going for us as well. But for now, we are doing pre-flight checks and just making sure everything's fine. Lucky is over here. Lucky, you want to go in your place? Let's see Bella. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Place. Go in your place. Good boy. Down. I missed that. That chat disappeared. Lucky and Bella. Today, whilst we're waiting, let me pull this back up. More doggy treats for Lucky and Bella if we get some subscribers. We have had a couple of new subscribers this week on the channel. Some from our shorts when we were over in Romania. So we could have a chat about that this week. We can have a chat about the man flu that's been going around that I've had. We can have a chat about the studio changes. My hand still looks huge. I'm still right next to the camera. I'm fixing that. Maybe for next week. But there is some new lighting changes in the studio, and we are pushing ahead with the new finance channel, so we can chat about that. All this stuff to say, obviously, if Microsoft don't keep us entertained with their stream, but they appear to be late. ATC, the airliner in front of me, Clark Human, has gone off the runway. You might want to call the police and check that he's okay. He's doing wheelies on the grass. There's a bunch of other aircraft that are also on my runway. That's not normal. Did we get parallel takeoffs approved? Anybody know? Probably not. Oh, here we go. They're starting soon. Let's put a noise up on their stream and bring that into our chat. Here we go. Whilst we're doing that, we'll set up our aircraft. So we will set our nav to GPS. We all know what that means if you followed the channel enough. That's so we're going to follow autopilot to fly us around, make sure we're following the same flight path as everybody else. We'll have a cruising altitude of 2,000. We'll climb at a rate of 500 feet per minute on the way out. And that's our aircraft primed for departure. Do a quick full and free. Left, right, up, down, and rudders. We'll check that from the outside. And rudder. Oh, rudder's here. See, it's good. That's how we do full and free. All good. We are ready to go. Just as soon as Microsoft joins us. Welcome to everyone in the chat. Lucky and Bella are with us today, this week. You know, we've got a twosome. Gruesome twosome. As I say, for anyone just joining, we are waiting for Microsoft to start their stream. We are flying with them today. Back doing the world tour that we did a few months ago. And today, it is Nuremberg to Prague. Estimated flight time is about 1 hour and 30 minutes. and today we are flying in the Beechcraft Bonanza. Let me clean up. Oh, put that back, sorry. I've also fixed, or I think I fixed, I'll put that above. So when my mouse is over the screen, you can see where it is. So now if I touch the rudder with the mouse, you can see that. Touch the right wing, you can see that. So it's good. Everything's right now. So if you're watching this stream and I'm clicking buttons, you'll be able to see what I'm actually clicking rather than it being wrong. The problem there was resolution mismatch. The sim had put itself into 4K DLSS, which is an NVIDIA upscaling thing for like best quality, and that was completely messing with it didn't match with the settings in OBS for the stream. Anyway, I fixed that now, so all good. In terms of that, if you haven't checked out my new channel, Money with Miles, go check it out. Depending on how boring Microsoft are on this stream, I'm not set up for this, so I shouldn't promise it. We could premiere some of the videos from that channel, but probably not. This is too short a flight for in-flight entertainment like that. But on a future flight, we could certainly try to do something there. I am going to try and move this camera that side for the next stream, I think, or potentially even in front of me, because just seeing the window is not as cool as seeing my guitars, which are over there. However, if you see right now, you just see a bunch of soft boxes. So I need to manage the lighting with what I want you all to see. I'm vamping for time. Someone tell me in the comments what you've been doing this week, how you feeling, how you doing. Are you ready to fly? Do you have your seat belts strapped on? And your tray tables upright? Have you checked that your life jacket is under your seat or in the container above your head? Probably not in this aircraft. One thing I always do when I'm flying, and everyone thinks I'm crazy, but I'm the qualified pilot around here, is I always, during that pre-flight entertainment, pre-flight demonstration, I never really listen because I've heard it a million times like everybody else, but I always check under my seat if my life jacket is there, or if you're in a Boeing, it's in the container above. Just make sure there is a container above and that it says life vests in here. The last thing you want is to land and find out that you don't have a life vest. Here we go, Microsoft is starting.
This stream is cleared for takeoff.
Let me try to see if I can remix this a bit better.
Well, hello everyone. Happy Friday, happy Fly Day. So pleased to be joining all of you today for another wonderful edition of our Community Flying Friday World Tour. Stage 30 today, if you can believe it. We've done 29 of these already. Now we're on the 30th one. We are in beautiful Bavaria in southern Germany.
I hope that music is coming from them and not me.
Still ongoing Oktoberfest celebrations in Bavaria.
I think it is.
Amazing time of year to be in Germany.
I don't know where else that could be coming from.
And we're going to be making our way across.
I'm just going to quickly pause them to confirm that. Yeah, it is. It's coming from them. Okay, that's fine.
Very excited for this stream and very excited to be joined by a wonderful panel today. We got a packed house, 6 guests. I will introduce them starting at the very top left of your stream and going around counterclockwise. We have got making a return visit.
Okay.
Haven't seen you in a while, but
Golf Oscar Tango
Captain Arash.
on.
Hello everyone, thank you.
I don't even know which runway I'm on. Runway 28.
Always a pleasure, Arash. It's been a while. Glad to have you
Ready
back.
for departure.
Next up, just I think only been 2 or 3 weeks, but pleased to welcome back Flights with Joel.
Glad to be back. I think this is my 3rd appearance, and I finally got my head in the frame.
Yeah. All right. You've made the adjustment.
One final time for anybody who's just joined the stream. We are flying with Microsoft tonight in the community fly-in. This is Nuremberg to Prague. Once we're in the air, Estimated
some
flight time is about
confirmation from chat. Is
1.5
audio getting
hours.
Is maybe someone outputting their chat audio to the stream and we're getting a duplication?
It's fine.
Okay.
Mixed bag again.
Alright.
Probably a bit
Next
longer,
up, we got one
but
of our
1.5
regular
hours is what we're
panelists.
estimating. Let's see
Always
how
a
we go.
pleasure whenever Peter is here. Welcome in, Peter. Alright, and then we have Simflight Pro.
Someone needs to tell them their music's too loud.
Simflight Pro.
Pleasure to be here. Looking forward for more.
Alright. Next, it's been a while as well. Well, actually not that long. I think you were here, what, last week? But
2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah.
Formerly the regular panelist, but now a much more sporadic panelist. A lot going on in Sim Tom's life at the moment, but we're very happy to welcome back Sim Tom.
Hello, hello. Good evening.
Yeah, see the audio is indeed not syncing with the video. So the audio itself is fine, but there's some delay.
Well, I can't really troubleshoot that while we're live. Maybe just try refreshing your stream. And then, last but certainly not least, we have got Two-Tone Murphy. Murph, I think the last time we had you on was St. Patrick's Day, but always a pleasure whenever you're here.
I'm still getting over it, and listen, if everything was working fine before I got here, it wasn't me, right? But hello everyone, happy Friday, you're all very welcome in, and yeah, looking forward to this flight tonight.
Alright, well folks, it is going to be a great flight tonight. As I said, this is stage 30 of the Community Fly-In Friday World Tour. Nuremberg in Bavaria and southern Germany to Prague.
Be interested to
Czechia.
see
Prague is absolutely
how my
Do make sure
I've moved my desk and everything around,
that you have downloaded
so I hope everything works tonight.
Central
My internet connection is slightly further away from the window,
Czechia,
and we do use
and then
5G
also
connection
two other
here,
World
so
Updates,
hopefully
World Update 6 and World
that will
Update
hold.
18, which just came out last month,
Welcome, Mary. Good to have you here. I'll say I'm just looking at chat on the iPad because it's not working in the browser for me tonight.
All right. Well, that is the flight plan for today, as you can see on your screen.
Nuremberg
there,
to
exclamation mark
Prague.
I in the chat if you would like to download the PLN file if you're on PC. In terms of airspeed, we're recommending a cruising speed of around 150 to 160-ish knots today. I myself will be flying the Cirrus SR-22.
Don't forget to hit
Let's
like
go through our
in
panel.
the
You fly.
to like the video because I can't set a Q&A. I don't think anyway. Maybe I can if I do this in a different way. This is the joys of
That one,
doing it
yes,
live,
that
as they
one,
say. That one.
All right. Simtom. Simtom's already airborne.
Well,
getting a head start on
because of a
everyone
good
else.
reason. good
But I
reason.
think we're going.
All right. What
So
are you flying, Simtom?
Well, it's an unreleased
Uh,
aircraft from FS Reborn. It's the TL3000. And I think Two-Tone Murphy, you showed it during your stream
I
on
did.
Wednesday, right?
I did.
Can
Well,
I
he was
do
so
this?
kind enough
If
to
I
send
join
it to me,
this
but it's
from
too
my
slow. As you can
iPad,
see, this is the cruising speed, so I won't be able to use this one.
I
But
don't
in
think I can
true
set
FS
polls
Reborn
from
fashion, there's some
my iPad.
realistic features. So if you want to get
So you're
some
always gonna have to
air-
remember to like
well.
and subscribe because I can't
There
set
you go.
polls from my
Yeah,
iPad, and the
did it?
browser isn't working
Hold on.
All right.
for
The
some
birds
reason
actually do fly off.
today. YouTube Creator Studios
Peter, the
down.
chat is saying your audio has an echo. Can you
Peter.
tell us that?
No, this is not.
I have the stream muted, so I can't tell. I'm just saying what the
Let's
chat is saying
see.
here.
And if you're really, in a dangerous situation, then pull this lever. We get a parachute.
Ah, yes, like the Cirrus SR-22, which I'm flying, is also equipped with that feature. All right, very cool.
So it's gonna be released October 10th, I think.
Oh, look at me.
All right, next up, Murph. Murph, you're on the ground still, giving us some beautiful camera work there.
Do some
Cold
power
and dark
checks.
Startup. What aircraft is that, Murph?
Is the Beechcraft Duke, the piston version from
All good.
from
Brakes are holding.
Black Square, and it's an incredible general aviation aircraft, twin engine, loads of performance, loads of power.
We'll be
and,
getting in the air just
you
as
can
soon
break
as the
many
presenters
things
are
if you're
done
not
introducing
careful, so,
themselves.
Yeah, it's a beautiful plane to fly.
All right, awesome. Looking forward to seeing that one in the air. Simflight Pro stacked up on the runway. Looks like you're in a classic Cessna of some kind there.
Yep, it's a classic Cessna 172. It's especially from WB Sim guys. I think they've done a fascinating job, and it's not really study level, but it's pretty decent and it's great. So gonna enjoy every bit of
So,
flying.
2024, Flight Sim 2024
Here's the
has
question.
now gone on
Is
pre-sale
a 172 going to be able
on
to keep
Steam.
up with 150 to 160 knots cruise speed?
I'm really tempted
If I need
to
to
pre-order it.
catch up, I think.
Nervous laugh.
That's fine, no.
Oh, I'm going to spend so much time on that. Once it's released in
All right,
November,
Captain Arash.
be
Oh,
prepared
that's
for a
awesome.
lot of streams. We're going to go through the career mode together,
I wasn't
all
brave
of it.
enough to try a new one.
or at least the
for-
commercial pilot
for the first
section.
live on stream. Old Bonanza, trusty one,
Really looking forward to that.
I guess.
Bonanzas. You can't go wrong with the Bonanza. Always a good choice.
Yeah.
And then finally we have Flights with Joel. Also stacked on the runway.
I'm in the old DA-62, which I don't fly that much, but it's a great plane. It's a fun plane, and I thought I would try and keep up this time. My goal.
Great. Awesome. Peter has some real world hours in a Diamond 62.
I do.
All right. Well, let's just talk once again about the flight plan. If you want to join us today, as always, open event, all players, all skill levels, all platforms. Doesn't matter if you're a brand new sim pilot, if you're very experienced. Doesn't matter if you're on PC, Xbox, or Xbox Cloud Gaming. Everyone can fly with us today, and we hope you do. !fly in the chat will give you all the information you need to join. Do make sure you choose Southeast Asia as your server from multiplayer. So hit your username in the top right corner and choose Southeast Asia from the drop-down list. And before you hit Fly Now, make sure you have set your multiplayer option to all players.
The
That
Bella
way
and
you can
Lucky
see
show
everyone else.
tonight.
So without further
It's gonna be
ado,
much
I
more
think we
interesting,
are
I
ready
think,
to
than
get
me.
going. I'm gonna hit the fly button. I'll get spawned in, and then we'll get up and on our way here in just a minute or two. By the way, we're
Once I
starting,
see
echo
the
audio from
pilots
Peter,
around
so
me
results.
beginning their
It's just
takeoff
usual,
roll,
I guess.
I'll
I
start
haven't
taking
used
off
the
with them
microphone,
all. We are
somehow snuck it
primed
into
and
the
ready to go.
weekly configuration, so I had two mics sitting there. What? Still echo.
Wait for mine then.
Makes me feel better about my live streaming ability when Microsoft can't even get
Yeah,
it
it's-
right.
It's just Peter. Everyone else sounds fine.
I am frustrated that Creator Studio's
take
not
mine for
working
2
for me
hours.
though, so I can't set my
Everyone,
my
right?
poll.
Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe this. How about now?
I'll have to talk more, Peter.
No, I'm afraid of
I got very quiet there for a minute because it took me about 6 minutes to start the plane. I was like, wait, what am I not doing right? Everything.
I can
But
do
it's
it
all right,
here.
lads. I've started it.
There
and
we
it didn't
go.
explode. Just continue. We're all right. Yeah.
Exactly.
We'd be totally safe. We're a great kind
Well,
of.
we're gonna airborne and we'll troubleshoot.
Yeah,
We'll troubleshoot this live
Right.
in the air as professionals.
live.
do.
We'll do it.
We're troubleshooting everything on many channels.
All right. Let me just get set up for takeoff here. All right, we are at basically 1,000 feet elevation here in Nuremberg. I'll set say a 3,500 cruise altitude to start.
3,500. Oh, I had 2,000. I'll go 3,500. Why not?
But I think we're ready to go. My parking brake is off.
Let's go.
Full throttle is in. I am rolling, and we are underway for stage 30 of Community Flying World Tour, Nuremberg to Prague.
Airspeed indicator is alive.
And rotate.
80. Rotate.
Positive rates.
Positive rate. Gear up.
So do people
Flaps
hear
up.
an echo when I'm talking, or only when it's on my screen?
Autopilot on.
When you're talking, what it sounds like is there's a dual
Let's
audio
make sure that's
source.
actually activated. Everything's looking
voice.
right. Here we
That
go.
was the case, but it shouldn't be anymore.
We are turning. Perfect.
Wait, look at all these beautiful people taking off behind. I got Place with Joel in sight right there. There's Simtom and Peter also right behind.
There's everybody taking off with us.
If I notice any other of our panel members, I'll point them out as well. Look at me, really amateur pilot, not maintaining runway heading until I've cleared the airfield. That is not.
Excellent.
a
Thank you for
profile
letting me know about the
right
poll.
there.
Wow, look at everybody flying tonight.
I saw a comment from chat. Mailmore asked, "Is this a record number of guests in one session?" It is not. If you can believe it, we've actually had more than this before.
Oh yeah.
It was.
This is
our-
great.
our
I love
LinkedIn
flying with
live
everybody
stream,
else in the community.
post-stream.
It's so much fun. It just makes us so real. And it's the one shame people are upset about in the community mode in the new sim in 2024 is that the community mode is a solo play. You won't be able to see anybody else flying around doing the same mission or similar missions as you, or even different missions nearby you. When you're in the career mode, it's so only, and people are kind of frustrated about that. But
Murph taxing into
I'm sure Microsoft have heard that feedback, and
So many
hopefully they
planes here.
will fix it at some
Yeah,
point during
thanks.
the life of the
Your
sim.
timing is brilliant. Like 5 minutes ago, I was.
It's still going to be so much more fun, for me anyway, to have a career mode. I like having challenges, things to do, and I've completed
It is busy though,
98% of the achievements in Flight Sim 2020. The only ones I don't have are the hour building. Some
amazing.
like
When you have the
10,000
phone
hour
line
building one
in,
I don't have, and
well, any amount of time.
but I've got all the other ones that are like
Just like
ridiculously
railroads,
difficult to
though, I mean,
get. I'm like one of like
with the-
very few people that
the
have them,
handles have it
and I'll go and
relaxed.
do all that
The-
achievement
the
hunting
navigation
again in
and
the
radio
next sim.
stuff,
It'll be great.
You usually kind of retain that. But some of the nuances of a plane, you're like, oh wait, yes, no, don't press that. You know?
Where are we? So we're not the highest, but also not the lowest you will flying. We don't seem to be the slowest either, which
Now
is
that I'm
nice.
airborne and my autopilot is
They said
on,
160 is the
video
recommended cruising
really
speed.
quick before saying my video is
We're doing
really
168, so that's fine.
Alright,
Just as
we'll
we're
be
on
right
the climb here. Gentle 500 feet per minute climb out. Everything's looking good. You can follow along on the VFR map at the top.
Try to mute the
Where we're
video
going?
call and just listen to the stream. See if there's any problem.
Now, for anyone watching at home, there's a good chance I'm the cause of this, but don't say anything, it's grand, right? I'm really not, but if I was, do you know? Right.
I'll show you the
alright.
ground, see if we can
So,
see any
But what's everyone else
bespoke
flying? I'm here
landmarks
trying to
that
fly
we're
a plane
passing
haven't
on the
in
way.
ages. There's so many people flying ahead of me, so who's actually flying with us? And, well, what are you flying?
I'm flying with you. I'm flying the Beechcraft. But you
Just
can't
with
hear
all
me.
of us.
Check,
No one's supposed to see that.
check, check,
secrets.
check. Is my video still choppy or did it rejoin?
The amount of ACAS warnings people would be getting with this amount of planes flying this close to each other would be absolutely mental.
Sounds good here, City.
Well, I mean, obviously.
Or is it
sounds good to
TCAS?
you, but to the people watching on the screen, they were
I think
saying
it's
it choppy
TCAS.
earlier.
Someone correct me in the chat.
No, while you were gone, I basically just muted
Lucky,
the video call.
Bella, calm
And
down.
then I'm just listening to the stream.
No fighting on the
directly.
live stream.
Oh, okay. And are we still getting like duplicate audio from Peter, or is that fixed?
Peter, can you
We're
talk,
now
please?
500 feet from our cruising altitude.
Just muted. Great.
Okay,
Okay,
so,
so
when I mute, there's no audio, and when I don't mute, we have
Pete
audio.
6619 directly below, if you can see there at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah,
Find the exact same aircraft as us,
like
just flying
double
incredibly
input
low.
kind of, sound.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a
Might be a
Friday
Friday
stream
stream, let's try that.
without some tech issues.
Peter, I don't suppose you are. No, that wouldn't make sense if you're outputting your audio to your video because we're not on your point of view right now, so wouldn't be getting that anyways. All right, well let's just focus
Tim
on
Tom,
the flight.
can you say
and we'll-
something, please?
All right, who did you say, Rash?
Okay, as we start to level off
Down.
at our
Ah.
cruising
Yes.
altitude, we
Hello.
might slow down a
Good
little bit
evening.
because it feels like we're getting.
we doing?
Oh, no, we're kind of in the middle of the pack. Everything's fine.
Okay, yeah, you sound good. Yes.
I'll leave the engine set to full.
Worried there for a second.
We're not going to overspeed
All right,
anything
I'm
or
actually just
overstress the
looking at
aircraft.
audio mixer in OBS. Peter, can you say something? Just like say a complete sentence. Keep talking.
We have 5 likes so far. Thank you very much, everyone who's liked the
Muted.
stream.
Yes.
Don't forget to like if you are watching
Looks
and
good that way.
subscribe. The puppies will get a treat
Rosemary,
if we
please
do
be there
that,
For a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
and it really helps the channel get towards our goal of 1,000 subscribers.
Can you say something?
before I retire.
One more.
I'm just seeing if there's like a duplicate audio source for Peter only on my end.
He really screwed up his mic driver now. Yes.
Someone's flying the ornithopter. I hated flying that. We flew that one time a month or so
Alright,
ago.
last week we talked about
I
when
hated
we
that.
did Touch and Go in Munich, how it is currently Oktoberfest in Bavaria. Very big deal in Germany. The biggest festival of the year. Has anyone, I know we have viewers from all over the world. Do we have any Germans in chat or people, maybe foreign tourists, who went to Oktoberfest over the last week?
That's like definitely on my bucket list. I need to get to one of those.
Stuxus says, I was there Tuesday and Wednesday, but I live near Munich.
Nice.
Would have been kind of cool to have like an impromptu flight sim meetup if we had other community fly-in Friday regulars meeting up in Munich for Oktoberfest.
See, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Tell me once.
He's reverbing
What
like
was that?
mad.
Was that Irish?
Still double.
All right. Hang on. Peter,
Okay,
keep
yeah.
talking. Please, no one else except Peter talk, and Peter keep talking for a long time.
Okay, so I have no clue because I'm only sending one mic signal to as far as I know. And when I mute, I don't hear anything.
Everyone's overtaking me.
I
Come
think
on.
I think it was on my end.
Push it
I had
harder,
two
push it
others.
harder. Throttles at max.
Ah.
Can't go any faster. I feel like everyone's
Find the
overtaking
time,
me.
Say nothing's grand.
Why has the weather become rubbish for me all of a sudden?
Now that we fixed it, Peter, what was that song you were going to sing us?
Well, it's good that you mentioned it.
He's been working on this one all night. I'll wait to hear it.
It's called Tequila.
Nice.
Hi, pup. You're not in the camera though. You're just out of shot, pup.
Oh, right. Well, I'm glad we got the tech issues sorted relatively quickly during the stream.
Switch back to waking instead of driving.
My in-flight entertainment is a
Lot of
dog,
live
but you
streams
can't
on our
see him.
channel
He's
today.
here.
Every one of the two, I'm sure will.
And he needs to
agree
be
there's
there.
nothing worse
Literally
than
like
to live troubleshoot
50
audio
centimeters
while you're broadcasting.
that way. I
It's
could probably get my
happened
hand to the
everyone,
camera.
and it's the
Yeah, here we go.
absolute worst.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
You said the absolute worst while we're flying over Germany. It's kind of funny.
Ah, ha, ha.
Bella's getting so big.
Oh, Joel, looks like you're getting a bit of a fighter escort.
Yeah, I am getting a nice escort here. Fighter and Barons. But oh yeah, we got 3 so far. Nice, all part of the regular crew.
We have Gems TV says, I'm more excited for Flight Sim 24 than I am for Grand Theft Auto 6. Can't wait.
Well, I'd agree
Now,
with
I
that.
don't know if anyone noticed this.
Me too.
There was a YouTube video that we saw last week where someone took the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer and they made a shot-for-shot remake of it using only footage from Microsoft Flight Simulator. Did anyone see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So that's the crossover event we didn't know we needed right there.
Yeah, and great work. That's not easy to do, but it put some
Yeah.
time into that.
Which one is coming out first? Flight Sim 24. Absolutely. Flight Sim 24 is coming out in less than 2 months. If you can believe it. Like
6 weeks or
Ni-
7 weeks.
9 weeks or 8 weeks,
Oh.
something like that now.
Oh.
It's crazy. It's coming up really fast,
Eight,
folks.
yeah.
November 19th.
Yeah.
And
Let me tell you the price.
absolutely shameless plug here. You can pre-order it now. There's a link in the chat. Actually, not a link, but there's information in the chat.
You can.
Uh,
Oh,
Windows Store,
Sorry.
Xbox Store, and now Steam as of yesterday.
He might
Which
tell you.
platform you use, no matter where you want to buy
but he
it
might give
from,
you the
you can
American
now
prices.
pre-order every edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. with a special pre-order bonus. You will get the de Havilland Canada CL415 firefighting aircraft. Yours free to fly in the current 2020 edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator right away. You could be flying the CL415
Yeah.
right now.
So
live on
the
this
standard
channel.
version of the pre-order,
If you pre-order in 2020,
and the different versions
you
come with different
pre-order
planes and some different enhanced airports.
Like Peter.
The standard version, which is what I got of 2020, is £70 or £69.99. The
It's a lot
deluxe
for the
edition
plane.
is
We're all saying, like,
£99.99.
The modelling is just, it's sublime.
The
in it.
premium deluxe edition is
It's so nice, right?
£129.99
It's a great angle you
or
got.
£130,
Oh,
and the
Still out.
aviated edition is
Oh, you-
£200.
But,
Now that said, I'm probably going to
I
go
was- I
premium
was gonna fly it
deluxe,
tonight,
so
I
that
was like,
£130
no,
one.
let's fly
When you
something
think about the number of
I still
hours of
managed to mess this
entertainment
one up, so maybe I should have
that I'm
gone.
going to get out of this,
Yeah.
it's easily going to be worth it. If I look at
Remember,
this
and
game,
this has to be done in the
I've had
same way.
560
Remember what
hours
Ice Pilots,
out
they
of this game.
flew, water
If I
bombers
divide
out of,
£130
Northwest
by,
Territories all the way to
let me do this.
Whoa.
If I divide
That is a long
£130
trip.
We're
by
doing it now,
560
let's go.
hours, let's say I get the same amount the next sum as I did this one, that's 23 pence per hour.
They went by the Azores,
What
I
else
think.
can you do
Yeah, they went
to
by the
get
Azores, so they-
entertainment at 23 pence per hour?
Oh, serious, right.
Like, people complaining about the price, and it is high.
There's no anti-ice or
Um,
de-ice features on it, so if they get into the clouds,
But
they could be in trouble. Like.
when you price it up versus going to
Google
the
asked,
cinema
how
or
are
going
you seeing
bowling
this week as
or
overall?
anything else you might like to do, drinking,
It was
you
big,
ain't
you know, since
doing 23
last
pence an hour
Thursday,
when you're drinking.
when the pre-orders opened
That's
and
for sure.
the
Trust
follow-up
me, I've been to
updates
London.
Flight Sim 2024 started being released to all of you,
Mary says she loves the
including
dog's
aircraft
orange
list and
blanket.
a lot of
Thanks
other
very
details.
much.
It has been absolutely
I
crazy
don't
busy
know where
for
it
my
came
team,
from.
not just
Dana
me,
probably
but
got
also
it from somewhere.
Shane and Chewie
Or it was
and
probably gifted to
West.
us by you.
Everyone
I have no idea.
Am I glad the week's
But I'm
over?
glad you
Yeah,
like
I
it.
love my job.
Dana might have got it. I'm sure she'll tell us in the chat if she
You know,
did.
this is my
I don't
hobby.
pay attention to these
hate
things, but I do like it.
yes, it's really busy.
And,
I'm putting in long hours. But
yeah,
I
it's down
love every
there.
minute of it. And I can't wait for the next 2 months, and then afterwards, when Flight Sim 2024 launches, it is incredibly exciting time to be a flight simmer right
The interesting
now,
thing
and
is
it's
that
incredibly
Waki always
exciting
wants to be
time
near Bella.
work on the
So
flight
with her
sim
being
team
tethered to the
right
desk,
now,
because we
you
need to
know,
control
so
where she is. She's still really
yeah,
young puppy.
I'm not
She's
gonna
only
lie,
like 3
I'm a
months
little
old.
bit tired, you know, there's been a
Um,
lot going on in our
We'll have a
team,
good chance of having
but,
Waki on for most of the
absolutely
stream
worth
as
it,
well,
and
because
I
he won't
love
leave her
every minute
side.
of what I do.
So it's a nice win-win
Wait,
for
you guys are
everybody.
getting paid?
What's the first flight you're going to do when 2024 is out? Like, do you have your go-to flight?
I do.
I'm going to do the
I'm
career
wondering
mode.
if I should reveal it or if we should keep it as a surprise, because I think we might actually informally.
Someone's
not
going the
like a
wrong way.
Friday, but just an informal
Where are they?
launch day community group flight. It won't be super organized. There won't be like a PLN file. It won't be part of the world tour. It will be nothing like that. But I think it'll be fine. Let me chat. Let me know if you think it's a good idea.
Well, that's interesting. On the world tour, are they going to keep doing it
We'll
Chat,
see
how
how
do you
much
in
they'll play
2020, or are they going to switch to 2024? Therefore, to continue joining these community fly-ins, are we going to have to? I mean, I'm going to have it anyway, right? That's why I'm going to pre-order it, have it pre-loaded on my computer. Release day, launch day, I'm coming. We'll be flying. Don't worry about that. But are they going to keep doing these community fly-ins on 2020,
I'll be in VR in a
or
probably
are they only going to be doing them in 2024? I wonder if people are asking about
What day
that.
of the week is it? It is November 19th.
Tuesday.
I believe
Tuesday,
it's a
right.
Tuesday. Yes.
Tuesday.
Now,
I wonder if I
depending on
ask.
Where in the world you live, if you're on the opposite side of the international date line from North America and Europe, it might be Wednesday, November 20th for you. So depends. You have to convert to your local time zone. But yes, Tuesday, November 19th, in North America, South America, Europe, Africa, and then for parts of Asia and Pacific regions, it may be Wednesday, November 20th for you. But yeah, I think
They probably
that'd be
won't
a lot of
respond,
fun
but I've
if we
asked the
all got
question.
Together and did a spontaneously unplanned, unorganized, pure
unplanned.
chaotic community group flight. Just start all flying together.
That sounds like fun.
It's a
I'm
shame.
going to need a good alibi or a story as to why I'm not in work on that Tuesday, right?
Someone's
Yeah,
answered
Shame I'll be
both,
sick that
I
day, but yeah,
think.
sure,
Right,
let's try.
you know. And the day after, and the day after.
Uh,
right, you know.
Is
I'll need a week.
MyAirMyles is an interesting
Oh,
question here.
someone's
Will
asked.
Community Fly-ins all be on 2024
Call out.
or on 2020? So here's the plan. And again, chat, we want to cater to you, the audience. It's not what we want to do top down. It's what you want us to do bottom up. So you let us know how you want us to handle this. But this is what we're tentatively thinking. And so we'd like your feedback on this. So as you can tell right now, we've got 7 panelists on our stream today. That's a lot. We don't normally have 7, but we always have more than 1. And so we're thinking we'll have at least 1 member of the panel on 2020. So anyone who is still on 2020 can still fly along with the group and have one of the panel members. And then we'll have other panel members using 2024. So people who have purchased 2024 and want to fly in that version, they have that option as well. Now, if it turns out that like 95% of you upgraded to 2024 and barely anyone is still using 2020, then we may retire 2020 from the Fly in Friday live streams. But if it's like still a lot of people on both versions, then we'll have a panel member on both versions.
We have to draw
That's-
straws every time, right?
That's the plan.
It's a good call. I mean, let's be honest. I'll be flying 2024 constantly. As soon as it's out, I ain't going back to 2020. But
Where are we navigating?
I don't like the idea of
Nautical miles.
the community ostracizing anybody who can't afford to pay for the new
We got a
sim
bit of ways to go.
if
This
they've been
is a
following all
good
these flights all
segue
along. So
to
I'm glad
our
that they've said that
favorite segments
at least for the
of
first
Friday
few,
live stream.
they're going to see
You know,
how many
Murph,
people have
it's been a
upgraded, how
while
many
since we've
haven't.
been guest panelists, so you get to do the honors
No,
today.
right.
There it was.
Um,
Nice
to
and
keep-
quiet. Don't pick me,
To
don't
keep
pick
everyone
me.
flying, because it's not
Alright,
fair to
we're gonna
say
switch over
to almost
to
put a gate,
Murph's point of view here.
you know, a paywall in the way
Chat,
of people
Where are you
taking
from?
part in the community
And
flying.
Murph,
So
read all
that's
the
I'm
reviews.
pleased to hear that they've got
I can't pronounce it.
an
Right,
approach for that.
Kiribati, Michigan, Canada, Colorado Springs, Colorado, Norway, Austin, Texas. That place. There's another, how do you even spell those, Peter? Sweden, Hungary, Germany, Houston, Northern Ireland, Gothenburg, Boston, Bristol, Tennessee, France, Brazil, Germany, Oklahoma, Calgary, Scotland, RD, Vancouver, the Netherlands, New Haven, Connecticut, Sweden.
I should
I'm
put
doing
in the
all right.
chat if I can
Joplin,
actually.
Missouri, Austria,
I should put in the
Orange,
chat a
Orange,
link to the
Dorchester,
information
Birmingham,
about the fly-in today.
My room, Alberta,
Let me see if I can
Montreal,
figure this
Southampton,
out.
Japan, the Netherlands. Now you're just making them up here. And Belgium, Florida, Canada,
That's a real
England,
place in
Spain.
Finnish Lapland.
The Forbidden Zone. We've all been there. Perth, Australia, Sweden, Tampa, Ireland.
Somebody lied.
Northern Ireland,
Somebody
England,
pressed the button saying they're
Tipperary,
subscribing
South
now.
Africa,
We've not had a new
India,
subscriber on the
Austria
stream.
again, Ohio
I just put a
again,
link in the chat for anybody who
Lincolnshire,
wants to get the information for
Don't
this
even-
community fly, and I should actually, again,
Neptune,
here's me going on about
Ohio,
being inclusive and everything else, and I've forgotten in case somebody might be watching the stream that wants to join the community flying today. So I'll put the link in the chat where you can get all the details about how you can connect and join the community fly-in today with myself and Microsoft.
There we are. We learned something. Great success.
Interesting.
Now, why don't we do our panel as well? I mean, does everyone in chat know where we're from? We always announce it, but maybe we got some new viewers. So, Captain Arash, where are you joining us from today?
I'm from New Brunswick, Canada. You can actually
Great.
see the downtown of my tiny city behind me.
Is that a live webcam view? Or
No,
is
it's
that
not.
Just on the terrace somewhere. Balcony.
Okay, I've got my windows set up a bit better now that I can see
Joel,
things
where are
going on.
I'm
You can
coming
tell I
from
haven't done this in a
Eugene,
couple of
Oregon.
weeks. I was out. We went to Romania for a week to see the in-laws, and then this week I've been suffering from the flu, man flu.
I
That's
would
been
do a
going
thing
on,
like that as
so-
well. Hang on, I'll scroll back up.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
halfway through now my period of unemployment. I've got
there was
3
a lot
weeks
going
to
on
go
there.
before I have a job again. Gotta say,
It's hard
like,
to keep up with all
I like being unemployed, but
Alright,
I won't once
Peter.
the money dries up. Bella decided my desk is a chew toy. It's not.
that. Simflight Pro?
Um,
I'm originally from
no.
India, but the last 15 years
Um,
I've been in California. So Sacramento, California for now.
All right, very good.
she's got a toy. Oh, she doesn't. Here.
Land of the best
Here, if
fries.
you need to
chocolate,
chew on that.
beer,
Also the
Belgium.
Netherlands? Wow.
No,
Ah!
if only.
No, we're in Germany right now in the sim.
Apparently, the
Germany, like,
blanket is from
during
Pets at
October,
Home
might
for anybody
know
who
that.
doesn't want to read the
And
chat.
At least according to The Simpsons, Germany is known as the land of chocolate. So, would they
So
argue
Tom.
that they've got better chocolate than Belgium?
They got their sourcing way off.
So basically, you're German. Is that what you're saying, Tom?
No.
Oh wow, look at that. That's one
Alright,
hell of
and
a
we're
lake.
I think people maybe picked up on the accent.
That looks definitely
Who
man-made.
doesn't know where are you coming
I'm
from?
I'm from this place called
Ireland.
Ateritz Puterititits
My desk is not a chew toy.
Right? That wasn't a bad attempt. A Tipperary in Ireland, and we may not make the nicest beer, but we certainly drink the nicest beer. But yeah.
That was a nice lake. Can't believe I missed it at the time.
My favorite beer.
We're coming over it.
Oh, really? What's your favorite?
Sometimes I
beer?
forget we're actually flying in Flight Sim. I'm not supposed to be like just listening to the
Plasters on a
podcast.
t-shirt just so he doesn't forget. Every time he looks in the mirror. And,
We are flying.
Alright.
Oh,
And
look at
then,
that. Mini
somebody
Roadster
posted the art from
S.
Vancouver, Canada.
Right there in the sun.
Beautiful British Columbia.
Amazing.
You know, talked about Arash being from New Brunswick.
I feel like I'm going a little bit faster than everybody else, but then you can see the cluster of planes in the VFR map. We're all flying about the same, which is fine. Just give me a second. I'm going to try and sort out this puppy. Here. Hi. 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 Here. Chew on this.
The light weather.
Or maybe Dana will bring you a chew stick so that you stop chewing on my desk. What do we think?
Like in a washing machine.
Yeah, same. But you're flying the ultralight, aren't you, Tom?
Thank you.
I switched to the DA62.
Oh.
Like
Nice to
Joel.
have a 34 knot headwind.
You have a headwind?
Sorry,
I have a sidewind.
It's like she knew.
what was that, Joel?
Oh,
You were saying,
Lucky's
was
taking
the
it.
DA151 or DC151?
Lucky, give Bella the chew stick back. Oh god, we're having some fun tonight. We're having some fun on a Friday
You
night.
find it there in the menu. Keep scrolling.
That's what it's all about.
It's with the new. It's the.
Could you at least chew that on the stream for everybody to see? Uh-oh.
Double
Please don't
secret
cut my
preview.
cables. Lucky, place. Place. Come on, place. No,
Peter,
don't bite me, Bella.
we
Lucky,
have a troll
Here,
in the chat.
place.
You do-
Come on.
Why don't you do the honors on this one?
Lucky, go in your place.
Why don't you read this?
He's not
one?
listening to me tonight. He's not interested in me.
Long-term flight college. Why not?
Lucky.
UN?
Come on,
you.
place. Oh, Bella's got the chew toy at least. So at least she's not going to destroy my desk anymore.
And if anyone
Right.
would like, and I don't
We'll
know
see if
why
Lucky
you
takes it
would,
and runs
but
away
if
again. That'd be a
you'd like
laugh.
to hear more of those terrible dad jokes, you can find Factual Gull on her Twitch channel. Link in the chat. If you
Right,
hate
now I'm
yourself
done
in life and you wanna hear more jokes
leaving the
about
cockpit. Let's see where we are, what we're doing. What's the what? We are
They were
coming
just
up
jokes, they
on
were just-
waypoint 1. Let's have a look at our estimated time en route. We are looking at 6 minutes 25 seconds en route
Harsh
to
but fair,
waypoint
harsh but
1.
fair, and factual.
Don't ask me what that is. Information is in the link in the chat.
Tough crowd, Factual, tough crowd.
Well, tough crowd. I mean, we've been there, right? Where she was.
I wonder if they
following
did
you
tell
around
us.
and
Yes.
non-stop getting
We're
beat.
hardened now.
We're hard.
En route, we will be
Armor.
touch and go landing at Leipzig,
Traumas.
We got the 1,000-yard stare.
which is not the first waypoint.
Alright, got a beautiful group of people flying behind me. I've got Nick Rath and Edarin, as always. They love the science fiction aircraft. Nick Rath and the Ornithopter, Edarin and the Halo Pelican. Also got an extra wagging their wings. I'm guessing that's Mahama Blends. Love
It
that
doesn't
extra.
say.
Maybe
It doesn't
not.
say what the first waypoint is.
Also got the
Guess we'll find out when we get there. 5 minutes and 36 seconds.
to my 4 o'clock position there as well. Once again, if you are just joining us late, all our Community Fly on Friday events are open to everyone from the community. !fly in the chat will give you all the instructions you need to join. More the merrier. We love having great turnouts for these events. So please join us if you can. Tim Tom, I switched to your point of view for a second, expecting beautiful, dramatic drone camera work, and you're letting me down.
Finally.
One moment, one moment.
Let's see if Peter is picking up the mantle.
Let's see, maybe it is.
So
What
this is
is
the
that?
drone battle then. Because I think
Erfurt.
Tito also
Erfurt
has some,
Weimar Airport
good
is the
skills
first,
that I saw during the stream.
Well, we'll have a
Very
we'll
much
have a-
Waypoint.
set of those,
but
We'll
we're
have a
not
battle
doing a
here.
touch and go here. It looks like we're doing a touch and
It'll be like the
go.
breakdancing battles at the
Yes.
Olympics.
representing Australia.
Yeah, which one of you is ray
I missed
gun?
it. Someone remind me what I said earlier.
Let's see, I saw a comment from the chat. Yeah, Integra asks, is that the Halo plane? Yes, the Pelican dropship from Halo.
Leipzig. Leipzig is where we're doing a touch and go. So
You're
Erfurt
a Halo fan.
is
And
just
here's the best
an
feature,
airport
if you ask me.
they're putting en route for
It actually
fun, I
has
guess.
A sound system in the cockpit of the Pelican. You can hit a button and it plays the Halo theme while you're flying. How cool is that? So yeah, once again,
Yes,
there's another
EDDP,
shot
which is
that's Aaron.
waypoint
Every week on Flying Friday, always flies the Halo Pelican.
3.
I don't know if
on
you,
our flight,
Blast
that's the
is
touch
doing
and
your
go.
Blast in that Halo theme. Love those Gregorian monks doing their chants. I don't know if you're playing that in the cockpit or not, veteran. Oh, you said it plays as you say that. There you go. And yes, Integra, that is a free download. So if you're a Microsoft Flight Sim player, you can get the Pelican from the marketplace. No additional charge for that. Absolutely free. All right, Peter, let's see your drone camera work.
Looks rather static.
Oh, the trash talk begins.
Shut up, Dom.
All right, there's Peter's work. All right, he's moving the camera around. We'll give him a few
Oh,
more seconds.
there's movement. Wow.
Wow. Those moves.
Off center also.
Your camera's crooked.
No, just lift your head up.
We have the same wish, Murph, that it doesn't roll anymore
Right.
in 24.
Please make it stop rolling. And they're like, what are you talking about? We're like, it means everything to us.
Nightmares about it.
What do you mean?
All right, next, SimTom. All right, already within 2 seconds, I have a preference. I won't spoil it and say who it is.
Oh, come on. he's just zoomed in more. That's all there is, and he's only showing himself instead of the crew.
Well, we did get a dramatic sun reflection off the wingtips.
Oh, literally everybody can do that.
Well, show me, Peter. Where is it?
Hold on.
Hold on. Hold my
Hold
beer.
on.
Honey.Haley says, wish I could be on this flight today, but gotta work for that Aviators edition. Yes, for those of you who haven't seen, the top edition of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 that you can purchase. Again, it comes in 4 editions: Standard, Deluxe, Premium Deluxe, and Aviators. Each one gets you slightly more planes than the previous lower tier edition. You can find the full list on our website, flightsimulator.com, if you're wondering what's in each edition. But the top tier one, the Aviator edition, is $199 US, and we've seen some comments from the community saying that sounds crazy expensive for a simulator or home entertainment product. And we've seen some counter responses to that, saying the value you get from it is actually really good. So we get some dramatic drone shots here from Tom. Look at this.
Yeah, well, and there it disappears.
Yes. So the difference between the
Switch to my screen, yeah? You can see.
Right, let's see.
oh,
what
there
Peter
we
does.
go. Peter's giving us some dramatic.
Well, that looks familiar.
Yeah, it's just a style. It's no skill.
Yeah.
The style. All right.
So the difference between the Aviator edition and the Premium Deluxe edition is 30 additional planes that are being migrated over from Flight Sim 2020. All the famous flyers, local legends, and the expert
Saved you from a
series
cough there.
ATR. And someone pointed
Let's
out
say I
that
am
the
recovering
delta
from
in
the man
price
flu this
is
week.
$70 US. So that's how much extra you pay above and beyond the cost of the Premium Deluxe edition. But the value, if you were to purchase each of those
somebody's
planes
flying a
individually,
airliner
it's
ridiculously dangerously.
$455 is the total cost.
Someone's gonna get a number to call when he
So
lands.
for an extra $70, you're getting $455 worth of aircraft. Now, obviously, if you already own some of those planes, you are not going to get the full maximum value from that. But I'll be honest, that's not a bad deal for 30 planes. It averages to like less than $3 per plane. Pretty good, if you ask me.
My guess is that probably the like negative comments was maybe because they didn't know the exact extra value they get from it. Because like honestly,
No, the comments are because nobody's got any bloody money.
I thought it's
There's a cost of living crisis going on.
I went through the details, didn't realize, yeah, it is actually a good.
People want a bit of fun and they don't want to spend £200 for it.
Plus, even if
You know,
someone
not
doesn't
everybody's a
want all
crazy
those extra
plane
things,
enthusiast like me.
they're not gonna lose any of the actual experience, right?
But even then, I don't
People
care
leave
about
it
all
short.
the planes, I
They
really
want
just
to
care about the airliners.
um,
Once again, we do encourage everyone to do
But
their own
as I say,
research and decide which
price
version
per
is best
price per hour
for
for
you.
me on
And
this
all
is
the, aircraft are
it's
in
a no-brainer.
aircraft
But I'm not going for the aviator because I don't need the 30 aircraft. I looked at what the 30
exactly
aircraft
will
are
each edition
that they give you in the
when you're
aviator, which is the
deciding
top
which
edition,
one you will
and it's
get.
planes I don't want,
And once again,
planes I
will
don't need to
link here in
fly,
the chat.
planes I probably won't fly because they're not airliners.
Pre-orders, once again, now available for Flight Sim 2024 on Windows Store, Xbox Store, and Steam. Now we reached your waypoint.
But it will be nice to have a legit copy of the Longitude that I've been flying. My favourite plane to fly right now. And I definitely did not acquire it off the internet. I'll be paying for it, so don't worry, Microsoft. You should absolutely pay for everything. Don't acquire things off the internet. That's bad.
Alright, what about Tom? Oh, Tom is now just giving us beauty shots of.
I was gonna do like be like, Peter, can you do a dolly zoom?
Of course I can do a dolly zoom. Who can't?
For those of you who don't know what a dolly zoom is, here's your cinematography tip of the day. You may have seen this. It was famously used by Alfred Hitchcock in the film
I wonder what the
Vertigo,
comments are
and
saying
a lot of
about the
people call it
money.
Vertigo effect. Probably the movie that
The
I
chat's
most people
really
have seen
quiet. I
is
guess
the
people are just
Lord of the Rings
flying.
trilogy by Peter Jackson. There's that shot.
I would have thought the
where
chat would have been
Hobbits
given a
are
bit
on
more
road leaving the Shire when the Black Riders are
feedback
chasing them,
on the price
and,
or
like, Frodo senses
the
they're
additions.
coming, and he's looking down the sort of the
Nothing
road
much at
straight
all in the
ahead,
Twitch
and
chat.
It's like this kind of weird zoom effect that sort of is like psychological. It's very distorting, and it leaves you with a feeling of uneasiness. So that is known as a dolly zoom, and the way you accomplish that is you have
Okay,
the
so we're
camera
heading
on
over
a
to waypoint
track,
2 now.
and the cinematographer, the camera operator, will roll the camera either forwards or backwards, while at the same time zooming the lens in the opposite direction. So
like
for
this.
example, you would
Bella's decided to try to
so for
escape
example, you might
by
move the
chewing her
camera
tether.
away from your subject,
At least it's
while
not my desk
zooming
anymore.
in the camera, and it leaves you kind of with
Uh-huh,
an
I'm
uneasy
watching
feeling
you.
when it's
So is everybody
executed.
else.
No, I'm not.
People are more interested in watching you than they are the fight.
Another famous example is Jaws, the scene on the
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking about that.
like this. For me, the most memorable shot is from Apollo 13, when they radio in and say like they are leaking some sort of gas into space. There is a shot that they do use the dolly zoom, and I don't know, for some reason that's my favorite one.
Another
So
one
there you
is
go,
the-
chat. Come for the flying, stay for the film history lesson. But yes, that technique used by cinematographers is known as a dolly zoom. And
So
you
we are now heading over to the third point of interest. I say this will be the touch and go at Echo Delta Delta Prap. Echo Delta Delta
Celia
Papa
has another
will be our
camera,
touch
well,
and go.
rarely moves. It's just
We are now en route to that. We are
has a name.
14 minutes away.
I know this one.
What should we
it's also
do?
used to invoke like.
I'm gonna start
you know,
a
scary
descent
or
of
uneasy
100 feet per minute.
Yeah, Dutch angles, that's called.
Yes.
That's not
Now,
gonna work,
you know
is it?
why it's called a Dutch angle? I'll give you a hint.
Let's do 200 feet per minute.
No, it actually
Yeah,
has,
3, why not?
it has nothing to do with the Netherlands.
I thought so. Didn't they mean Deutsch?
Yeah.
They did correct.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it was a technique used by German New Wave directors, again to evoke a feeling of uneasiness, and it got mistranslated into English instead of Deutsch angle. It got translated as Dutch angle, and so people think it refers to the Netherlands, but it actually refers to Germany.
But the whole fact that our language is called Dutch is from that mispronunciation, or that the mistranslation from German, because German is Dutch, and they translated that to Dutch, which actually is wrong because it's the Netherlands.
Another interesting tidbit. I follow this group called Crew Stories, and it's Hollywood Crews. They're now people are now buying dollies and restoring them because cameras are so light now. They don't use the big heavy ones that Hitchcock and all the people you just mentioned use. People are finding them and fixing them up just for like as museum pieces.
Actually, I think 2000 is going to be really low.
Yeah, a lot has changed.
Maybe we just go 2.5.
Yeah.
I don't want to be
There's also a
touching the
a
ground on the
device,
way.
I've seen this before, called a Steadicam, and this is basically a harness that is mounted to the camera operator, so that the person holding the camera can actually run around following the action in a scene, but the camera doesn't bounce around for the viewers. So it's mounted like gyroscopic stabilization and stuff. So when the camera operator is physically walking around or running to keep up with the action, what the viewers see in the finished product remains stabilized.
I think it's largely based on momentum actually. So because of it's all spring loaded, right? And because the camera rig itself is pretty heavy, you can jump around and it will keep its momentum and be steady.
Apologies to Eder in there. Our bot got a little bit overzealous. I've manually unbanned you.
The textures are like,
That happens on my
we
stream.
exist, we don't exist.
Yes,
I have that problem.
Yes, no, wow.
All right, we have seen from SimTom, we've seen from Peter. Let's check our third entry in the drone cam.
Yes,
We've got
ready,
two-tone
Mark.
Murphy. Oh, these are some dramatic
Oh.
shots with some beautiful formation.
No,
There he goes.
no pressure at all now. I just hold my beer there.
Okay, he wins. Never mind.
Full serious face.
Yeah.
It's like, look at me.
But he has enabled depth of field. We didn't know we were.
Are you
allowed to do
using
that.
You didn't
filters
know
as
how
well?
Yeah.
You didn't know you could
The
use
Irish
the
drone
drone for
you're-
the
you're-
drone shots.
You're disqualified, Murphy. This isn't playing fair.
You're also using
Reinvention
filters
that
That's
now.
not right.
I say I'm really surprised that
No one told us to do that.
the Twitch chat isn't grilling these guys more on the sim, but I guess they're not the developers, right? They're just the marketing team.
It all together, as in you have the right aircraft, the lighting is perfect, the scenery is perfect. I mean, you just look at this for ages.
'Cause
you know.
when you watched the stream a few days ago, which was the developer update,
Wow, that really
ooh,
looks
I
like
mean, there was nothing positive said.
It's still the other way around.
It was all just, can we have this, can we have this, this is missing, this is missing, that's missing, this is missing. It's like, come on guys, give them a break.
I certainly do.
Like,
It's
they've
funny,
got
like-
to
I mean,
make
no,
something
no,
that
this is all natural.
works for the most amount of people first.
Well,
You know, if
we're
you
gonna
want
use
something that
filters,
is,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
professional grade,
not immediately,
multi-pilot
set up.
simulator. Those
Okay,
exist.
alright.
Go buy them. They're thousands of pounds. Go buy one. You know, this
One
is
of my friends
you know, a
sent me
sim,
reel in,
really, but
Instagram.
it's a game wrapped around a sim.
Shot- a
It
video
has to
shot
appeal
of
to
very
the
dramatic
broadest
takeoff
market.
of an airline there.
And people just
I really
attacked
believe
them.
that
It was crazy.
is
They'll
real
all still buy it,
takeoff, and it
'cause,
was like,
you know,
"Man, look at this,
people
it's-
people
it's
do.
insane how
Right. They complain and buy it anyway.
And I was like, that's not real, that's flight sim. But it looked so, because of my eyes are so used to like the details of the graphics, so I could pick and say, yeah, this is flight sim, but yeah, some people really believe it's real.
I've also had the other way around, right? So I would show a real shot and then I said, nah, the shadows are all wrong. Doesn't look like anything.
One of the things keep popping up, especially with one of the airliners almost trying to crash runway. Keeps it's the ATC talking, and then when I zoom in, I realize that hey, this is SFS. It's not real life.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got well over 1,000 hours in flight sim now, and even I will still sometimes get confused with screenshots that people post in the community.
What
Like, that a
is
real
the plane
image,
doing?
Or is that a screenshot? I gotta get the old magnifying glass out. You know, and look.
Usually you-
My plane is going
Look at the pixels.
mental. I didn't ask it to do any of this.
I was just thinking there was another very famous. We're talking about cinematography. Another very famous shot using a long lens, long focal length.
What are you doing,
Radiation
plane?
detection.
Oh yeah, I saw that one.
If anyone remembers
Let's get
the
back on
movie,
track.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy,
the autopilot just decided to
There's a shot
go
where there's
insane.
a plane landing on a runway while two spies.
That's why you need a pilot
talking
monitoring.
at the
Trim,
runway,
trim,
and
trim,
it
trim, trim,
looks
trim, trim, trim,
like
trim. This is
the plane
absolute
is about
mental.
to collide with them. It looks really
Trim,
close,
trim, trim, trim,
but,
trim, 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 trim.
it's
Here we go.
revealed
Bring it back
that the
into
plane is actually at the
control.
far end of the
Blah
runway.
blah blah
It
blah.
was a very interesting camera technique.
What's
with
it gonna
a-
do
with a
now if I
really
kick it
long
back on?
lens
Are we
that
gonna
you
fix
shoot at.
ourselves?
And if you
Yes,
remember that
there we
scene,
go.
it
Good.
really
Vertical
does, like,
speed.
it's to build tension and add drama.
I need to
the scene
bring
while
it
two
down
characters are having a
now, much
discussion.
faster than I'd planned.
But it really does look like they're just standing on
I
a
have no idea
runway
what
while
happened there.
planes
It
hit
just
them,
went out of
actually no
control.
danger at all. But you, the audience, do not realize that.
We're back though. We might have hit an updraft or something, but that would be crazy.
Oh, what do we got? Oh, look at that! You do another TBM.
No. I think it's a Platus.
Was it? Okay. Oh yes, you're right. Yeah, T-tail. Yeah, for sure.
Catch back up with everybody now. Although it still looks like I'm in the middle of the pack, according to the
For some
VFR map.
reason I always feel Germany is a little bit of a sneak peek of 2024. It just looks so brilliant here.
Your eyes German.
Yes.
Coincidence?
All right, I've set up some filters.
All right. Tom now was upstaged by Murph, and he would not allow that aggression to stand. This will not stand, man. I'm talking about drawing a line in the sand.
Going down, man.
So let's see what Tom has done now. Oh wow. Okay.
Letterboxing always makes it movie like it's like yes.
Ah, will you come on out of it? That's very nice.
21-2. No, Rachel. No, that's even more cheating.
Right, how far out are we?
Hang on, I need
11
Did you
minutes.
get that, see? Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Feels like forever.
Bit of
I am,
additional sharpening.
As the kids
There's
on
some touch and
Instagram
go.
would say, I am #NoFilter.
This is obviously in Mexico, as you can see by the color.
And now it's descending below its assigned altitude. I have no idea what this plane thinks it's doing today.
What he
the
was
idea?
going for, yeah.
Now
That's
this
very fancy.
this
Tom, we
filter
need to
really
have
looks like a
something.
movie.
We've lost
Right, Murph.
power. Oh, I know
Game
what's
is
happened.
The
I know what's
gauntlet
happened.
has dropped.
We've run out of fuel.
Well, go on
It's
then.
okay.
Well,
Media
it's gonna be
refueling.
kinda nice where I
We
am.
can do that. It's a
How
simulator.
long this'll last now, lads? I'm very
Oh,
We're back.
Whoa, look at this.
We've run out of fuel. Nobody was telling me to change the swap the fuel over every 15 minutes.
Wow.
There we go. Power's back now.
That's awesome.
So that one
There was
we
a
were doing,
failure, a mid-flight failure for you, and we troubleshooted it.
on Sunday.
You don't get that on every
Yes,
stream.
flying over the Netherlands. Yeah.
That's a MyAirMyles
What are
special.
you doing?
Flying over the Netherlands.
Those guys will have max fuel set, I guarantee, or like
Doing a bit of gardening,
um,
you know.
Keep that stuff in your
fuel
plane,
doesn't
please.
expire. You know, like unlimited fuel. That's what I'm looking for.
If
been a long day. It's been a long week.
NVIDIA, you all
Um,
you can throw up.
There we go.
They updated them.
But that doesn't explain why it tried to throw itself into the sky 5 minutes ago. It does explain why it wouldn't maintain altitude though.
Feel like
The
we
engine
should
had
be
cut off.
Talking like we're the BBC News announcer from 41 right now.
Did you have
With
the
the
first
proper
filter?
nerd.
Probably
you have-
explains
yeah,
our
don't you
time
have
en route
this,
as well.
sound
Yeah,
effects
6
in the
minutes
seat?
now. Yeah, that's better.
It's a bit of a
Like-
radio.
Like that it distorts the.
Well, I mean, I can do.
Wow.
Check.
This approach is nice.
I don't know if I can do the accent right now.
For sure, but you gotta talk like an old-time radio announcer. Here we are in the old Flight Sim 2020.
That's
Yeah.
great.
That's
Keep
pretty
going.
good.
And here we are, checking in with our boys in the air.
There we go.
Here we have a Spitfire pilot from number 242 Squadron. Let's go, lads.
You too can fly this American aircraft for just $45. Oh! But you can have so much, and again, like if you have NVIDIA, and I think for AMD you can actually download some filters as well. But if you like, if you like kind of taking your screenshots and whatever, like you can do some really awesome things with Flight Sim with them.
It does save them, right? Like
No.
in the preset?
Oh,
No,
hang on. I just missed a
Nah.
landing. we
You
had a
did?
touch and go that I think was completely before.
Oh well.
I was distracted by all the filtering and drone shots and you know, BBC 1941 radio announcer.
Aviate, navigate, look at the state, and then
Echo Delta Delta Papa.
It's saved. It's saved. I'm not there yet.
I'm still 10 miles out.
I think none of us are there yet.
I'm 14 miles out.
Yeah,
We're all good.
All
We're
good.
all good.
Okay.
Saved.
Duxit says, I laugh so loud the baby is waking up. Good, good.
Being undertaken underneath by an airliner is
It's been a long time now, like from
somewhat terrifying.
Star Trek. Was it Star Trek Enterprise?
How low is he flying?
oh yeah. What are they thinking?
We'll come down to
Put the
2000 now.
Keybinds so close to Alt F4.
Oh listen,
Alt F3.
more times,
Like, what?
more times. I'm like, I just want to get. Oh no.
Wow, just look at that.
Well, for anyone who's tuning
One
in
of the
late,
best things about flying this sim is just how amazing it looks.
Echo Delta Delta.
You can just get lost in it.
Spawn there. You can join the flight in progress.
It's 0826 runway. Right.
Very, very nice out here.
Largest city in Germany's Saxony state. So we have
Like,
left
there's a
Bavaria
feature-
behind.
I have the field in sight.
There's a feature confirmed for 2024 is wake turbulence. I mean, can you imagine the group
It's gonna
lights?
be interesting.
I think I'll
So,
probably disable
we
wake
will
turbulence.
reduce our
for
speed.
Friday.
Only the first aircraft will be safe.
Well, yeah, and that will always be a 747 or an A380 or
Yeah.
a
225.
Yeah.
A lot of jet engines.
Beluga XL,
Something
Dreamlifter.
like that,
yeah.
yeah.
Antonov
So-
225.
Yeah,
Full-
someone is
full
going to
Antonov
pick the
225.
largest aircraft with the most possible wake turbulence
Yeah.
and troll everyone else on Flying Friday.
Sub approach.
Whoa, that is an aggressive approach. Tom.
Tactical descent.
Overspeed. Overspeed.
It's
Don't do
It's
this,
already a
I'm
bit more,
crossing
close by than I thought.
commands. Gear down. I wanted you to see the gear coming
Alright,
down. I
I'm
thought
gonna
that'd be quite a
disable
cool
my
shot.
autopilot and
Right,
hit flight
let's...
in. So for our panel members, when you
Flaps
are on
down.
the final, please let me know and I'll switch over to your point of view. So everyone in chat can not at all
Autopilot
harshly
off.
judge your landings. we are a very supportive and wholesome, friendly community.
Gonna
here.
close the VFR
Definitely
map
don't
just
talk
briefly whilst
piloting
I...
skills of the panel members on our stream. Mostly
So 08 left.
Got some of my throat
Whoa! This... I don't know what's going on with my controls. My aircraft is fighting me.
I'm turning final CD.
Come
turns out
on.
well.
Sorry, Arash, was that you as well, Sid? You were on final?
No.
Okay.
I think this is a handcrafted
I
airport.
think it might have centered now.
Will be.
Because
Eh,
it does look pretty fancy.
There we go.
I only
Very
have a
well might
40,
be why I chose it as a...
Now I find that my concurrent viewers does seem to jump up for some
only
reason
have
when
a
I
40
approach
miles to
runways
go in, so-
for landings.
Helps with the takeoff. Well, also not really, but does it though?
No.
No.
But
No.
yeah,
Very
this
strong
seems to have a
headwind,
The opposite.
oh,
Yes.
tendency
got
to want to do
Mustafa is in
things
the
I don't
chat.
want
Nice
to do
see
right
you,
now.
Moose.
Hey, Moose.
I'm fighting it.
Reverse
Okay,
from
here we go.
British Air.
Field in sight. Flaps are down, gears down. We're going for a touch and go.
Moose, I am doing fantastic. How about you? Hope you've been absorbing all the new information released about Flight Simulator 2024 in the last week and a bit. Including, and we'll get to this in a second,
Ooh, but
of our
hell,
panel members.
airliner just like...
SimFlight Pro and Two-Tone Murphy.
Well, I don't want to say
The,
flew through my back end, but
at the Grand
flew through my
Canyon.
back end.
And if you follow both of them on their YouTube/Twitch channels,
And then
you've
landed
seen they've
way
did
off
some
to the left
impressions and some interviews
without
with
wheels by the looks of it,
development team
and
so on.
crashed. Oh my god, he
Last
crashed.
week, and
That airliner is
we'll get into that
buggered.
a little bit. We'll talk to both of them
Sorry,
about,
shouldn't spit on
what
stream.
they saw, what
We are down.
they're most
Oh!
excited about after
Mayday, mayday, mayday! Plane in front of me
Hands
crashed
on
and just
time.
nosedived straight
Being
into the
among
ground.
first
You're going to want to send the fire crew for
non-developers
that
to actually
quickly.
try Flight Simulator 2024.
And press F in the chat for that person, along with the airliner that totally crashed and died.
All right, I am
We, on the other hand,
I got
had a
4
perfect
white
landing.
tabbies coming in too
We're on
high.
full throttle, flaps are up. Because it's such a long runway, we can take off without them.
Oh, F's in
We
the
are
chat for
back
that airliner
up.
that just lawn darted on short final.
And autopilot on, let's get our climb speed set,
You still have
something
40.
reasonable.
108 left. Are you doing 0 to 6?
Autopilot, you want to be turning the other
Sure,
way.
right.
There we go, it's learned. No,
Yeah,
perfect.
weather is the
And wheels up.
Should be opposite.
Positive rate of climb.
It's fine.
Touch and go.
I saw on VATSIM there was a controller near where the hurricane in the US
Yeah.
went on shore, and he said in the no times were just.
Hang on. I got my main wheels down nice and smooth, and I slammed the nose wheel down way too hard. Maintenance is not going to be pleased with that landing. I thought I came in really, really for a nice smooth touchdown, and then I absolutely crushed the
Bonker.
nose wheel.
Did you hit the blown out tire? Or? It's fine.
I mean, in the upcoming career mode, you'll have to be careful with that.
I think in real life that would have been a blown tire.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Judging mode engaged, says Moose. Yes. You don't need to judge me. I already know that was a bad landing.
It was a bad landing.
2 out of 10 on that.
We are
Alright,
heavy
who's
now.
next closest?
Just behind you there.
Alright, let's see what we
Let's
roll.
reduce our fuel to 30%. We want to be nice and light.
I'll have to make up for that landing at the next.
So we'll just dump a bunch of fuel. We'll climb a lot faster now.
I'm not
there a
Fly
sure
faster too.
if this
Is there a
runway is going to be enough.
Bort Cobain asks, is there a storyline for Career Mode? Well, you may have seen from some of the preview videos and media articles that have been out there in the last week, including those from SimFlight Pro and Two-Tone Murphy, that the way Career Mode works, the first time you launch Flight Simulator 2024, you're prompted to create your pilot avatar, so you can fully customize how your pilot appears. And then you actually have an office, like you have the pilot's lounge and your desk and your office, and you can choose how you want to progress your pilot's career. Everyone starts out just like you would in real life, very accurate and true to life. You start out pursuing your private pilot's license, and then from there the world opens up, and you can sort of decide what kind of pilot career do you wish to pursue. And there's really no limits.
The
If you
VFR
really
map
do
back
one
now.
career mode, if all you want to do is be an airline pilot, you can
That's
focus
what
solely
I
on
wanna
that career
do.
mode. Or you can sort
Pretty
of dabble
much,
into
that's
multiple
what I'm gonna do.
careers and decide, you know, you want to do more than
We
one
might do
thing.
some of the firefighting and crop
So,
dusting and
I'll
all
turn
this
it
stuff,
over
but
down
I'm
to
not doing
Vinny
any of the
Burke
rotary wing
and,
stuff. I
and
hate
Simflight
flying
Pro. Maybe
helicopters.
talk
I
to
might
the
do some of it
viewers
for
a little
fun,
bit about
but
what you
I'm
saw
not going to
on
actually try and
Amazon
get the
Prime and your
certifications and
interview
stuff for the
with
helicopters.
at the Grand Canyon event a couple weeks ago.
But
it
I'll
was
try and do
amazing.
most, if not all, of the
So
fixed
it
wing
was-
stuff in the career
I
mode.
mean, the same, right? I mean, to
That's
start off
gonna
with the
be
simulator itself, to see
a
what
lot
they've worked
of
on,
content.
And the biggest thing that I was taken back by was the sheer speed of going from like the main menu into a flight, right? And it's very, you know, how it transitions. I mean, you click ready to fly, and poof, it's loading the scenery as the camera's kind of zooming down towards your starting location, and it's just way better. I think kind of Seb was explaining it there on Wednesday night. Just, you know, instead of having like kind of two worlds generated, they'd have like the overall world map, and then when you kind of zoom in, it kind of closed off one and opened the next. Well, it's just the one map, so you can actually zoom all the way in. Think of like almost a drone cam in the main menu, and the setup, they had all sorts of different kind of hardware configurations with different controls, joysticks.
Yeah, I had
yokes,
a lot of
you
food
name it,
today.
they had a bit of everything,
And I think it's taken out
in
of
terms
her.
of flying, I mean, once
She's
you get into
just
the
tired
aircraft,
now.
yes, you've got this an amazing walk around, like stuff we've seen from kind of third-party aircraft.
Sorry, Murph, I gotta jump in just for 1 second. I'm flying past the Red Bull Arena. Ooh. That in the sim. And of course, the Red Bull Air Races, very famous aviation event, are going to be in Flight Simulator 2024. Super cool addition to the sim.
Yeah, and you're giving it to
Right, sorry
us
to
for
interrupt
free
there,
this
Murph, I just
time
wanted to
rather
get
than put
that
a
in before
charge
we
us
fly
for it,
past
which is
and leave it behind.
excellent.
Sweet,
Please
sweet.
continue.
Yeah, so you do this walk
Because
around
nobody
mode,
bought it
and
last
you're
time,
walking
and they
around
really
the
complained
aircraft,
about
you
that.
can check on the main components. I mean, you got, you know, you can check engine oil, you can check the flaps, check the ailerons, and a wow moment. If you weren't wowed already, which I'm pretty sure we all were. I mean, when we all got to experience this stuff, but it was getting that sensation of turbulence in a Cessna, flying in and around the Grand Canyon, and I'm just flying along, and next thing, like, one wing is just completely thrown out of it by turbulence, and it was incredible, absolutely incredible. And yeah, it was just like, right, what else can we do? Jumped in the chopper. You see the detail on the scenery in some of the locations, like at the Grand Canyon especially. You see that resolution. It's photo perfect. It's you know, we were comparing photographs side by side, going, hang on, wait, what? Which was awesome. So yeah, it's, from what I saw, what I got to test, the excitement is real because there is so many enhancements, and I think, for me personally, I think it's...
Sorry, I'm just catching up on the comments. You're probably one of the few that has actually flown for real. Yeah, that is true. There's a lot of amateur pilots that are flying on here tonight. Some are probably even flying on their Xboxes using controllers, not even a proper stick and throttle. But I don't know. For me, it's no excuse for a bad landing.
So anything you can do in 2020, you'll still
nice
be able
crush.
to do it just like you can in 2024, only
I think she meant
better.
crash.
But there's going to be a bunch of new stuff that you will be able to do that you can't currently do.
But I didn't crash.
Also
Yeah,
saw
the
chat,
number of crashes on that runway.
Or a question from the chat
Yeah,
saying,
cleanup crew
when
would
you
be
finish
very
with Diversity,
unhappy.
Can we keep going? Yeah, you can keep playing. There's also an option. Seb said this in the developer stream on Wednesday. If you want, you don't have to do this, but if you want, at any time, you can restart your career from scratch. You can reset all your progress and go back to the beginning. Although I do like Mustafa's answer in the chat. Says, no, you're forced into retirement, and the game automatically uninstalls. Yeah, particularly for our viewers in the United States, when you install Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, it asks you for your birthday, and the FAA enforces mandatory retirement once you reach a certain age, and then you're no longer able to play. That's a joke, by the way. That is not true, but. We actually
pay for refueling with real money. No.
Yep.
Yeah. On that note, though, we actually do see this a lot in the community. We have real pilots, professional pilots who spent their entire career in aviation. They did reach mandatory retirement age. They were no longer able to fly for a career anymore because of FAA regulations. And we have so many people say that they now get to experience their love and joy of aviation through Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I love hearing stories like
Don't
that.
tell the wife though, but I think this throttle and stick are getting a bit old, which is why I think it's fighting me quite a lot. The center points are not reading properly now. It could be this throttle and stick, or it could be something in my computer. But it might mean that at Christmas I need to get a new one.
And then he started to flying Cessnas
We'll see.
again, and became
We'll see how this new job goes. If we've got the money for it or not. Yeah, as I say, first few weeks of unemployment, it's all fun and games whilst the money's still there and everything's fine. But if it was long term, that'd be a real problem.
It's newfound love, so to say.
Alright, Simply Pro, we heard from Murph. Let's hear from you now. What were some of the more interesting or exciting things that you saw at the event?
You know, CD, the presentation was for like a couple of hours, and I think it was a lot to consume during that time. Because as Murphy mentioned, right, he mentioned all these things, and I have to pick up one of the things that fascinated me was the walk-around feature. Okay, we don't have the walk-around feature in a current sim, but imagine looking, you know, all around the plane. I was looking at a Piper Cup, which is one of the default aircraft. The level of detail was really good. Even when I just started the plane and was taxiing around in a territory which is like probably bush flying territory, probably after a couple of minutes I could start seeing dirt on the tires, man. Dirt on the plane, dirt on the tail. I mean, that was, you know, a little bit of more immersion I felt. And imagine this, 4,000 times the level of detail compared to our current sim. Can you even comprehend that? I mean, if you're looking at any ground detail, you're going to expect 4,000 times more detail in it, okay?
Sorry.
Some of the things that was even more interesting was the way clouds look. They look much more nicer. Even the sky looks way better. It looks more realistic. Um, those were some of the things I really felt that were great. I also had one of the concerns about trees because we just saw a few, probably lesser varieties of trees in our current sim. And when I spoke to Hawk Newman, he actually told me that there are at least 150 types of trees in them. And also, one of the things that interested me was his affiliation with Planet Zoo. And that's why we have animals now. What are we going to expect in the future, right? Uh, Probably we can expect something more, which is interesting, and the carrier mode, right? Now, carrier mode was something I felt that was a needed option in MSFS 2024 because it has a purpose. You just don't start simming. It felt like a guiding hand. So if I want to be a flight simmer, probably I can choose anything that's interesting, right? Be it firefighting or advertising. I can try out different options, and it gets a little more serious in simming, right? It's not just a plug and play kind of an experience. It's like, hey, you have a purpose, you screwed up. If you don't do your exams the right way to get a certification to be a pilot, your credits are done. You have to spend those credits back again, apply for the exam or whatever, get the certification, and you kind of get a little more serious about flight simming. There's so many things that was actually discussed during those 2 hours, and I actually felt quite overwhelmed and emotional because there was, you know, there's no comparison between 2020 and 2024 because 2020 was something that you could imagine going, traveling all the way to your home, right? That was one of the first things what I did was fly over my home. But in 2024, you can see it in much better detail. So one of my questions to, I think Sebastian Rock was, hey,
I'm
is
making funny
Black
jokes so
Shark
nobody can hear me.
AI gonna
Aircraft
improve,
stuck in the sky and not
especially game
moving.
mode? He said,
Somebody call
it's
God and
it's
tell
it's
him
gonna improve
physics has
because it's
stopped
AI,
working.
right? That's the whole
Because
inclination is
that
they're gonna
Iceman
improve the database by having
DBB
much better models. Let's say you're gonna see
somehow appears to be
much more
climbing without moving forward.
familiar
That's not
architecture when you go
possible.
to China. But obviously, maps. When it comes to maps, big maps, it's a little bit of a limitation because of regional limitations and government regulations, whatever you call it. So it has been a little bit of a challenge, but I think on an overall note, it's been very positive. So it was quite emotional and touching for me, spending those 2 hours to see how more beautiful our sim can be. That was amazing, man.
All right, I put links to both your channels in the chat. I'll do so one more time. So check out SimFlight Pro on YouTube and Murphy here on Twitch. You're also on YouTube now too, aren't you, Murph?
I'm kind of everywhere. Do you know, I'm like that fella who just won't go away. But come here, there's also one really, really awesome feature that I experienced over there. And I think this is going to change a lot of people who fly kind of general aviation or helicopters, or even if, you're just trying to put the aircraft down somewhere, you really shouldn't be. I was flying in the Draco, and I was coming into land, and I hit a rock. And I don't mean like the entire plane hit the rock, a wheel hit the rock, and it threw the plane over. So like with that extra detail in the locations, like there's rocks and stones. I mean, there's consequence to planning a landing. You need to actually check the runway. That's mine start like you have to actually check the runway, especially for like out in the bush or whatever. Your normal traditional runways, but they should be grand. But like if you're trying to go somewhere like grass or unprepared, or even just do like a landing like by kind of like a coastal like a beach or whatever by rivers.
My wife is not
really gotta
here.
check
I
it.
don't know what
So,
that means.
yeah, it was nuts.
Do we know? Because
Did
it
she
was
leave and go
all
somewhere?
those ground stuff with the rocks and stuff. That's all
Where did she go?
procedurally generated, right?
Yeah.
Is that? Is that
I wonder if
being
she's
done
going to
locally,
buy
or
me a
is
takeaway
has that been done once and then streamed to
for
you?
after the stream.
My real question is, if I play in multiplayer, will everybody see the same rocks?
Oh, that's a great question. That I don't know, because from what I
Do you think she's going to buy me some food?
and based on what the tech is doing, so it'll say
Probably
look,
not.
There's supposed to be rocks here.
Yeah, so
And then it
we'll
draws the
generate
rocks.
rocks there locally, yeah.
Yeah.
Which if it's on your local system, it will be some random rock placement every time you go there, right?
Correct.
If it
Correct.
has been done once and then streamed to you,
I think it was machine learning, no? That
yeah.
they did in the
So
cloud.
if so, yeah, then they
Then we all
generated
get
it
the
once,
same,
and then they
yeah.
will just place it whenever you load up or. When
It'd be
you load up
funny.
the app.
Everybody has to avoid
Because
the
then it's
same
great, because
rock.
then everybody can see
It'll
the
become
same
memes.
stuff, everybody
Landing
can see the
challenges
same
all
rock
over the
if you want.
place.
Which will be
It'll
really
get
awesome.
memed like
And otherwise
mental.
you get to see, different rocks every time
Yeah,
you
exactly.
spawn in there. It's like, wait.
We definitely need to check that because that could be a huge feature.
Well, that's the first thing we're gonna do.
Just want to address a few minutes ago. We got a question in the chat from Wheelchair Gamer. Says, "Can we get the CL415 if we don't pre-order?" Yes. So how this works: the de Havilland Canada CL415 firefighter aircraft, that is part of the standard edition of Flight Simulator 2024. So no matter what edition you buy, or if you're a Game Pass player, everyone will have access to that plane in Flight Simulator 2024. However, if you pre-order, you will get that plane right away, and you can fly it today in Flight Sim 2020. So that's the pre-order bonus, is you retroactively get the plane in the current version of the sim. And if you don't pre-order, you will get the plane when Flight Sim 2024 launches on November 19th. But it will only be available in 2024, not 2020.
There was one additional thing which I took away from SimFlight Pro talk, and you said SimFlight Pro that people will take flight simming more seriously.
I'm really
Is that
looking
even
forward to
possible?
that.
There are already people who are expecting to go in pilot.
Well,
So
500 hours.
ouch.
By the way,
I'm not
chat,
sure. I'm not sure I'm ready for that yet. People taking flight simming even more serious.
But you know what, Arsh, let me tell you something. One of the most important messages, Hog Newman, it still resonates with me very well, is that he wants to listen to the community, period, and then deliver. So whatever changes Murphy mentioned, right, even I mentioned, is most of it has been kind of vocalized
I get the
by
joke
the
now.
community over the years.
Okay,
Saying,
Bella.
hey, you know what, let's have this feature. Let's have this.
So that's a no on the
100% sure
You're not buying me
that
Friday
would
night
be
takeout.
their wish.
Oh, what happened to their stream?
Moving forward, because that's what
Ah, it's
Hog
back.
emphasized, saying that, you know what, let's listen to the community. We want to hear more feedback. So it's going to get much better for us. And yes, more serious.
I
Folks,
I
I
always
put
took it
this in the
seriously. I mean,
chat.
I
I
did the
put it-
flight. There was some flight you had to do. It
Longtime
was
viewers
I
of
can't
this
remember. It
channel
was something like
know
13
Reddit
hours
Gaming, how you
to get one of the
respect my
achievements.
judgment
I did it
by
twice
the
because it
500
didn't
hours
trigger,
simulator.
and you actually had
You
to do
were
it. You
never
couldn't speed up the
sure if
flight.
this was a
You
troll,
couldn't
that
trick your
someone just
system
made
to
up a
changing the
story to get
times. You
imaginary
couldn't do anything like that.
benefits,
You had to
or if
fly
it's
the
a true
actual
story.
flight. They programmed it somehow to
According
know if you were
Newsweek,
trying to cheat.
which is a
And
very
it'll be even harder to cheat
reputable,
now that it's being streamed from the
authentic
server
news
side in
magazine
2024.
in the United States,
It was
they picked
from
up
wherever
this
their
story,
offices
they
are,
tracked
Asobo,
the
to
man
Microsoft
himself
offices.
down and interviewed him
Um,
directly.
And I
It's a
flew
true
that flight
story. It's
twice,
really
13 hours,
That's nuts.
just to get
So I have put
the,
the link in the
Pretty wild.
chat.
the
I
achievement
discovered
for
this
it.
earlier this week.
I also did it was like 300
His name is Rodney
kilometers or
Fisher,
nautical miles
and he
in
is
every
from,
aircraft in the base game, and I had to take a record
Altoona,
myself because the
Pennsylvania.
achievement didn't tell you which ones you had done it for. So yeah, we
There you
take it
go.
quite seriously.
We
I had
now
to I had a
name
database,
along.
an Excel spreadsheet. That I actually just deleted it yesterday, or was it this morning? I
You
forget.
had to record your own voice,
And I had to go through and make sure I had done it in
Scary.
every single
That's going to
aircraft.
be ridiculous. 'cause
That's how
like,
crazy
yeah,
I am when
ridiculous.
I want these
Like,
achievements, and
if
so
you
I'm
have
really
my
looking
voice.
forward to the career
well, like,
mode
if you can get, like, I
because
don't know what,
I'll
if
be
there's
doing
gonna be
all
a,
of that
you know,
and more
pre-described
again in the
script that
next
you have to
sim.
read out, but if it's just looking for a voice, I mean, your favorite movie, right? You should just play it on loudspeaker.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Oh, Batman.
I think it's a certain sentence you have to read.
Probably.
so, yeah.
It's your-
Then we
hey,
just
I
cut
know
and
that.
paste, a dialogue together, and
Yeah.
But you can do a really funny voice.
So just to clarify, if anyone's not familiar with this feature, if you haven't seen some of the preview videos from the attendees, what they're describing is to use the in-sim ATC. So currently in Flight Sim 2020, it uses Azure Text-to-Speak, which sounds pretty good,
yeah.
but a little bit, you can tell it's an AI reading, not a human voice. It's still pretty decent for the technology, though. In 2024, you can read a voice sample into your computer's mic, and the AI will pick up your own voice. And so when you hit buttons to communicate with the ATC in Microsoft Flight Simulator, your pilot's avatar will speak with what sounds like your own individual voice.
I completely missed that, but that's so cool.
Nice.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
I actually hate
I
that
wouldn't mind a Murph.
because I'm sure there's going to be a terms
I-
and
I would-
conditions
I would-
somewhere that says that they
Aviator
can then
edition only,
use
lads,
your
but yeah,
voice
that's absolutely fine.
in anything else they want to. Advertising, marketing, part of the game, for other people, whatever else. There'll be something there that if you train your voice into the game, that they then own your likeness forever.
Just getting the procedures right, yeah.
So I won't do it. I'll get somebody I know to do it, perhaps. Volunteers?
There's so many different voices. You don't know who's talking, but when you hear your own voice, well, you know it's your own voice, you know. And that was one of the things around it. And yeah, it's super exciting because, like, again, it's kind of like a starting point, right? There's a lot of think of 2020 when it first released. I mean, we were blown away by it, and then, you know, once the dust settles, we're like, right, can we get this, or shouldn't that work this way, or, you know, you're gonna get something similar, I think, with 24. I mean, it's everything that we know and use now, deeper, right? But there's going to be other stuff. I mean, we saw that on Wednesday. People were saying, you know,
I'm going to ask a question.
weather radar,
They might
perhaps,
respond to
or,
it.
You know, can we get an avatar in third person? And I'm very, very sure we're going to see development roadmaps and all that jazz well into the future. I mean, we saw
Darth
it in
Vader
2020,
voice.
you know?
Yeah, feed it in the voice of someone you want from a...
Because you need to your pilot profile. Do you actually see your pilot profile after that?
From a movie or something.
Just all
Or your
third
favorite actor.
Well, certainly in cockpit view you do. Like, so right now, let me just go to my point of view here.
person. Yeah,
Like
external
there, like
camera view. Yeah.
I can see my pilot avatar there.
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
pilot avatar. Yeah.
That's then you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so in Flight Sim 2024, I would see my own custom pilot avatar whenever I
that's
look at
pretty
my own
cool,
plane.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And what David said, right? David from Asobo said, if you were picking up, now, I don't know if this is just in career mode, but if you're collecting passengers, let's say in Alaska, which they're going to be dressed in like jackets and warm clothes, but if you go to the Bahamas, they're going to be wearing like shorts and flip flops. Like it figures that stuff out.
Oh,
It's
that's so
nuts.
cool.
It also. And
That
I
is a
think
good
it's
point. People are putting this in the
important
chat as well.
feature.
They're all just going to
Like,
use
people
celebrities'
several
voices.
interviews, I'm not sure if it was with you, Simply Pro,
And I do wonder if there's any copyright
where
issues
you had
there
mentioned that
for
they spent
likeness
a lot of
rights and
effort to
stuff.
make sure that the people, the passengers.
Because if you
boarding
can
the
train
plane
the AI
who
with
receive
any
terminal
recording that
onboard
you've got access to of
are,
anybody,
geographically appropriate
that's...
for that region, so they wear
Well, people could take
kind of
this live
clothing
stream
that
and therefore
people in
get
that
my
country
voice model,
wear,
I suppose.
and
I need to climb, I'm getting
physically
really close to the
resemble
ground.
What people in that country would look like.
I heard in one of the interviews that they even checked this or some data from the United Nations. Even.
Yep.
But these are all needed, right? These are all needed. You need to be a local, right? Even though you have a global sim, you have to locally think, right? If I fly to Ireland, I might see the same population then, right? It has to blend in.
10 Murphys.
There'll be so many good-looking people now. Do you know?
Yeah, because Ireland is known for its handsome people, right?
Yeah.
It will be.
I was in Ireland the other day.
I
That
have
is
no
just
idea
not
if
true.
If the SDK allows this, but can you imagine if you could? We were talking about like I want the Murph voice back to be my pilot's voice. I have no idea if that's even possible in this sim, but imagine if it was. I would bet there's going to be some developer.
Hey,
out
look,
there
I'm on the
if
stream.
This is possible. That they would make
I'm in front of the
like,
guys, right in the middle of the stream.
Sullenberger voice pack, and so like your ATC voice can be Sully's voice, or they would make
So-
the
so-
I
Chuck Yeager.
don't think I can
voice
make
pack.
that.
Well,
I can make
say
it
intentions,
bigger.
Right? I mean, they have Courtman,
Just briefly so you
right?
can
For
see.
legal reasons, it's not Cartman, it's Courtman, right? But it's Cartman out of South Park, right? So, you know,
Look,
if you can get
I'm
different
right in front of
voices
them.
in like that could be just nuts. Like,
Yeah.
The sentence you have to say is that a
in
static
the
sentence.
in their stream. That's really cool.
No idea.
If it would be a static sentence, all you need to have is the person, or is a recording of the person saying that sentence. So when we want to have a CD sound pack, all we have to do is let CD make a recording of saying that sentence, and then we would play that sound back when.
Well,
Yeah.
the simulator
That's
is
it.
recording.
If you haven't got the
The
person
same
making that,
can be done by using AI synthesizing to create,
Yeah.
voices of celebrities.
he's right. You can grab a celebrity's voice,
So if we can make an
put it into an engine, get the engine to spit out a recording of the celebrity saying the thing it needs to say, and then feed that into Flight Simulator
Is there a
to then
patch
generate,
if you're doing the
I don't know, Arnold
interview
Schwarzenegger or
with your
Scarlett
passenger
Johansson's voice.
Who lets you know that they have 1,000 hours in flight sim if you need them, in
They'll be nice.
2018.
Yeah, don't do that in the real world, by the way.
No,
I did
Didn't
that.
you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Heading over to the place, and I was like, you know, hey, Captain, I got about 4,000 hours of flight time. I'm in 14C, and he just went, "You're such an idiot," and like everyone just looks at me. I'm just like, "Oh, okay, that didn't work at all."
No. I've said this on this.
Somebody's
stream
tried
before.
it.
Peter, you will back me up on this. There is not a single, low-hour Cessna private pilot alive who has not boarded a commercial flight as a passenger and thought to themselves, just daydreaming, what if it
Is
was
there
the
a pilot in the house?
what if
Yeah,
it was
like
the airplane scenario and I was called upon in an emergency situation to land this aircraft? Do I think I could do it? Every pilot has had that thought.
Oh, I'll book
No,
seats
no
just,
exception.
just in front of the cockpit, just for that.
Yeah. However, there's a difference between privately having that thought and not articulating it to anyone but yourself, and approaching one of the pilots or a member of the cabin crew, handing them a business card that says you're, a private pilot, and if you
worse,
need anything, you
student
can
pilot.
find me in seat 12A. Do not do that. Never do that.
I'll let you know. I'm a bit of a pilot myself. So.
It did happen once. Keep in mind, once that I know of. It's a private
Oh,
pilot.
hang on. Look at Sim Tom's dramatic drone shot now.
Oh,
And now you're just showing off, like. What
It
is
would
this?
never happen,
for 30 minutes
because
setting up the
most
shop.
of the cabin crew are
He's
also
doing the
trainee
shutter
pilots a lot of
independent
time
over
these
and over,
days.
Yeah.
So they would
You
take
casually
over.
Tell the pilot that you dabble in aviation myself.
Yeah. That'll work it works every time.
You know, I'm a bit of a pilot hobbyist
I'm
myself.
doing those things. I do myself, yes. But like, isn't it mad though? We all kind of do the same things now, right? I mean, if you get on an airliner flight as a passenger and it's just before, full power, toga, the whole lot. I mean, you're sitting there, right? You're like, airspeed alive. We're all doing it.
Yes. Rotate. Positive
Right.
right. Gear up.
Yeah, it's
15,
mad.
there you go.
Like, oh, he's keeping his flaps a long time out.
Well, what's he doing? He doesn't know what he's doing.
Right?
I'll go tell him.
Yeah.
It's like, do you know your flaps are still out?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Oh, brilliant.
I've got flights with Joel to my 12 o'clock load. Joel, you may need to pull up. I don't know. Are you going to hit those mountains?
Oh, come on.
Let's see
Are you
your
kidding me?
Let's see your point of view.
It's
You're skimming at treetop height.
not really. That's not even nap of the earth yet.
I think I was a bit higher.
We're all fine. We're all fine.
But they proved
See,
it. I
look,
forget.
someone's
Oh,
going
his
in
name
the
was
course.
Tom something. The famous
yeah.
YouTube guy, Tom.
Cold Nebo says he has ForeFlight open presumably on your tablet when you board a commercial flight as a passenger.
People know who Tom
By
is.
the way,
Anyway,
folks,
Tom went to a sim type thing on one of his
when I
videos to
fly
prove
commercial,
could someone who'd never even done any
far
flying before land an airliner,
pet peeve.
and
Anyone
basically
in
the answer
chat
was
does
yes,
this, shame
because
on
they
all
effectively
of you.
land themselves
I'm
these days.
calling you out. Do not do this. So you're at the gate, you're waiting for your flight to start boarding. The gate agent comes on the PA and says, "Attention passengers, we're now boarding flight 953 to Las Vegas. We are pleased to welcome on board right now our business class and super elite members and all passengers in zone 1.
I hate that shit.
If you're in zone 4 and you get up and get in the queue at that moment, do not do that. That drives me insane. Yeah. So shame on any one of you that does that.
Gate lice.
Yeah.
Mustafa says, I appreciate the airlines that say no. Actually,
I
this
hate
isn't
the
you,
whole
go back."
group
Yeah.
number
I'm
crap.
telling you,
Just
you know,
let us
Some
get on the
say,
damn
no,
plane.
You are not. No, go away.
Mathematically, they've done the numbers on this. They've done the modeling on it. Actually, it doesn't make any sense to group by group
Yeah.
numbers. You should randomly let people get on the plane. That is the most effective way of getting people on a plane.
Thought I had my right to
I missed the touch and go.
go. Yeah, I'm lined up.
There's an observatory we're about to pass.
Look on the traffic map. Why
Oh,
is
this
no
isn't
one
gonna be
following
pretty.
me
If you
anymore?
want to see something really, really.
Whoa, Peter.
Yeah, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine.
Also tactical approach.
Yeah,
Oh, you got it, you got it, you got it, you got it until you don't.
Easy.
No,
No,
and then
very good.
oh, you're fine.
Oh,
Oh, it's fine, it's fine.
Oh
Look,
yeah.
it's going, it's going. Here, I'll touch. I'll touch, and I'll go.
Have you brought the throttle back?
I did. But, oh, my
very,
flaps didn't drop somehow. Oh,
well,
oh, I pressed the button. Oh,
that
well.
was a firm touch.
It was a front touch, but it was a touch and go.
That's true.
As I'm watching you, I realized I'm right over the airport.
Yeah,
I was looking for the
freaking-
observatory.
By the way, do we have any viewers in the UK here? Shout out to all our British friends. I bet you nobody in the UK would queue improperly when boarding an airline flight. If there's one thing the British are known for, it's being the best queuers in the world.
Well, we have Japan.
Yeah, that's true. No one in Japan would do that either. That's true.
I thought that was
Whoa.
Canada.
Well, no,
No,
they
I-
do it, but they'd say sorry about it.
Oh, hang on. Look at this. My approach is even worse than Peter's.
Oh jeez.
Oh, I'm at 160 knots, diving towards the runway. This is not how you do it, folks. This is not how you fly planes. I may even have to abort this landing. This is really bad.
I was not on camera, so I'll just tell you this. I did it
I will
perfect.
slip,
Absolutely.
No flaps. It's fine.
I saw Joel.
You think I'm fine? I don't think I'm fine.
You're fine. You're more than fine.
I'm VNE here, the aircraft here in a second.
Yeah, that might be an issue.
We're gonna use every foot of this runway. Come on, get her down. There we go. All right, we touched, and rotate. Positive rate. That was not how you fly planes. Not how you do it, folks. But it
Funny how-
counts.
It's funny how we had exactly the same approach, tactic
Yeah.
and touch and go.
All right, Arash, are you up next? Who's next in line for that touch and go there?
I'm about 5 miles out.
MyAirMyles says, trust me, people in the UK all queue at the same time, regardless of group number, and also get up while the plane is still taxiing to the stand. Really? Wow.
Oh, that's another one.
Britain, you let me down. I would have thought if there's any country in the world that is known internationally for queuing properly, it would be the UK. And I'm very saddened to hear otherwise.
No, the thing that's annoying is like
I got
when
2 shout-outs today.
you're
I'm doing
almost
well.
pulling into the gate and people are already at the door, almost like leaving the aircraft. It's like we're still taxiing. It's like calm.
You know my other favorite person on a commercial flight. It's when the
People who clap.
plane gets to the gate to deboard at the destination, and they're sitting in seat 34A, window seat, all the way at the back of the plane. And as soon as the plane comes to a full stop, they undo their seatbelt and stand up. It's like, where do you think you're going exactly?
Right. I think if they're queuing up before the gate, just let them out. Let them go. Save
Just
aside.
open the door
I've
before.
had that once, but it was because of we had to catch another flight, which left like 10 minutes after we arrived. So we had to really go.
Well, normally you can tell the airline, if you have a very short connection like that and you're worried about not getting to your next flight, tell a flight attendant and they will priority deboard you. And most of their
Yeah,
passengers
they
will
will.
they'll understand that, and they'll be fine with you getting off first because they know you have a tight connection.
If
But
I
yeah,
want to exit first, I'll just say I have tight connection.
Yeah.
I was on a series of flights where I kept hearing this strange clunk on descent, and when we got close to landing, and I always thought, oh, that's the landing gear going down, and then I would hear it again, and well, that can't be the landing gear. And finally, I saw somebody do it, and I realized it was this, which is my cell phone hitting the ground. Almost like flight after flight, people were dropping their cell phones.
Yeah.
It's very loud on a plane.
Well, it's got to the point now, at least on the airlines that I've flown recently, it's now been part of the script for the mandatory pre-flight safety briefing. They'll say if you drop your cell phone between the seats, to not try to fetch it yourself because it's a fire hazard, and you need to alert a member of the crew to get it for you. Has anyone else heard that now? Or?
I have heard that, yeah.
My favorite was we were pulling into the gate and they alerted the pilot that some people were already standing up, and she was like, "Oh, I don't have anywhere to go. I'm just gonna stop here in front of the gate. Wait until you're back in your seat, and then we'll continue."
You could just apply the brakes. Really.
I mean, she was just waiting.
Yeah, but just.
Oh, yeah.
I just see the comment there from I see a comment there from Gibbo. Like, do you guys hear clapping when they land? Did they give a round of applause?
Sometimes.
That
Depends on
happens
which
over here,
airline
like,
you are.
right?
Yes.
And like, when you first hear it, you're like, oh, for crying out loud. But now people do it because they know how cringe it is, and they're like, and you're like looking at them, don't clap, stop it, and then everyone starts clapping.
It kind of depends, right? If you had 2 go-arounds and with a 25 knot crosswind, and he'll finally set it down like silky smooth, then you can get a bit of flapping.
So I'll tell you where I hear that more often. If I'm flying
It's
on
America.
a vacation destination, like Orlando or Cancun or Vegas,
If it's somewhere in
where
America,
it's not really a lot of business travelers.
you'll get the
mostly
claps.
vacation travelers. You'll often hear clapping when they arrive.
Incidental.
Yeah. It's not necessarily the business frequent flyers that would do that. They know better.
No, it all depends on the mood of the travelers, right? So it's a vacation mode for most of them.
I saw
Murph once again is raising the bar for drone camera work.
Pathetic.
Amateur.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't even concentrating right now.
It shows, Murph. It shows.
We hired some paid actors for the background.
It's actually using air show assistant, and those are all
exactly.
AI.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. They're doing really nice flying here. I don't know how they do that. It's grand for me. I can just fly ahead, mind my own business, and then you get guys who do this sort of stuff, and you're like, how are they even doing that?
Try to form up with you.
Never follow Murph. Things will end up terribly bad.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Moose says I must have missed this earlier. There's a question in chat asking if Flight Sim 2020 will be updated after 2024 is released. Yes, we've announced that a long time ago. Flight Sim 2020 will receive ongoing support. And just on Wednesday's developer live stream, as one example of the type of support you can get, Jorg announced that any future world updates and city updates for Flight Sim 2024 will also be released day and date for Flight Sim 2020. That's just one example, but we are not abandoning Flight Sim 2020 by any means. If you are still a Flight Sim 2020 player, if you, for whatever reason, you choose that you don't want to get 2024 right away or ever, that's fine too, then you will still get ongoing support for 2020. So does anyone know? Well, I'm assuming the answer is yes. We have now crossed the border from Germany into Czechia, flying over Czech airspace now.
It's 36 knot tailwind-ish.
Are you on live weather?
I am.
Yes.
Oh.
Or it must be really appalling, like 2 weeks back in Austria. That was not doable. Usually I'm on live weather.
But we will ask, will there be cross-play? Can 2020 players and 2024 players play together? No. Martial announced that during last month's developer live stream in August. Each version of the sim, 2020 and 2024, will have their own dedicated multiplayer environment. So if you're on 2024 and your friend is on 2020 and you're flying over the same airport at the same time, you will not be able to see each other. Only if you're on the same version can you do that.
You know, I heard cosplay when you said crossplay. I think we will.
So if you see me typing that, I'm in the Twitch chat. Some guy's telling me, no, the UK doesn't have groups. We don't board by groups, and I'm like, I'm a frequent flyer with British Airways. Like, I board by groups all the time.
Recognizing by his real title as a pilot.
Hey.
And he told me, no, doesn't happen.
I have a pilot's license. I have
That's true.
It's because he always flies Ryanair and EasyJet and Jet2. He's saying, well, yeah, you fly the one-star airlines, you're not going to get groups. You're just going to get, how much did you pay to take them into bags on the plane with you? rather than putting them in the hold where they belong.
Wait a minute, you have 2 licenses?
I do. I have a
Horrible
glider
experience
pilot's
flying
license
those
and a
things, but
glider
sometimes you have no
license.
choice.
Oh, so glider is not an
But yeah, if you
add-on?
fly anything
No,
that's
it's
not a
different.
budget airline,
It's
you
a
will get
separate
grouping in
license,
the
Separate
UK.
license. Ah, very
And in
Oh,
fact,
Bella's
I earned my
awake.
glider pilot's license first. So I was
Because
a
they
glider
can't handle
pilot.
an engine.
Yeah, before I had a PPL.
And I don't think grouping is good either. I think you should just let everyone
So does
board the
flying
plane.
hours ever count if you're trying to apply for a PPL from a...
And everyone should be forced to put their baggage in the hold.
Yes, it does.
Apart from,
Up to a
like,
certain amount can transfer.
A really, really small
Yeah.
carry-on. And it should be
For
free!
example, in Canada,
I'm asking for too much now, I know.
this was in
Well, let's get back to the
1997,
flying.
regulations may have changed since then.
Okay, I wonder if I can shortcut this and just go straight to the field. I'm going to go straight to the field, so that we can land and watch everyone else landing later. Flight plan.
Exactly when I flew my check ride, but it was under 45, and the reason
We're
I
going
was
to go
thinking that I
direct
could do
to
that is because I already
the
had a
field.
bunch of
Let's
glider
go.
time, and that a portion of that counts.
Probably a solo.
so that we can watch everybody else arriving.
So
Because
you
we'll
can
have landed
guesstimate
and we'll
for a
sit there and
glider.
watch them all come in for their
Absolutely.
landings
There's-
and
You-
judge
if
them.
You, if you
No
put
doubt.
me in a 767 with no fuel over Gimli, Manitoba,
That's
I'm
funny
sitting
because
at
you
the
can look.
ground, no question.
One person's leaving the pack. He's not following
if
the
it's
path
gliding.
everyone else is
Yeah, if
following
you're-
anymore.
Yeah.
I'll
Engines
slip
are
it a
out.
bit. I'll slip it a bit.
Well, somebody else is trying to do a kind of somewhat direct flight. It looks like.
Yeah, Cole Debo got that reference.
Alright, let's start our descent.
Yeah, Murph, you're really sending it. I'm not catching up at all, and I'm doing 173.
Our estimate time en route is 3
I
minutes
just
and
want the
40
station bar. Make sure the
seconds.
coast is clear.
So please do put your tray tables up. Put
Feel the
your
weak
phone
turbulence,
on Bluetooth mode or whatever, I don't know.
Very dumping.
Give your rubbish to the air
Mr.
hostesses.
Nice says, I find it mind-blowing
Sit down,
that
put your
Russell
seatbelt
Wilson
on,
not having
and
mentioned
put your head
much
between
more
your
games.
legs and kiss your
I
ass
mean, this
goodbye.
counts as the
No,
updraft
what? Sorry. That's not the landing speech. This is your captain speaking. We are 5 minutes away from the field. Weather is good, winds are light, and clouds are few. Well, you know you have no choice but to fly with us today. But we'll still pretend that we care and want to thank you for choosing to fly My
You don't
MyAirMyles.
need to monitor oil pressure, manifold pressure, you know, all the. You don't need to look at. engine
Once we
gauges to
land,
make
please
sure
do
the
stay in your
screen.
seats with your
You don't
seatbelt
need to worry
fastened.
about swapping your fuel
Don't
tanks
clap,
to make sure
don't
your
stand
wings
up
are
until we
loaded
have
easily throughout the
stopped.
flight.
And I've
So
opened
in
the
a lot of
door.
respects, flying a glider is a lot more simplistic. And in fact, in Canada, and I don't know if this is true in other countries as well,
Okay, thanks,
but
bye.
in Canada, you're actually legally able to get a glider pilot's license at a younger
Field in
age
sight.
than you can get a PPL. It's 16 to get a glider license and 17 to get a PPL in Canada.
You mentioned changing your fuel tank, and then in my head I was like, oops.
You forgot to do that. And Ternosa says you get really good at judging clouds too. Yeah, and learning like estimating wind direction. You know, a lot of glider pilots are not flying at controlled airport where you can just tune the ATIS. Most glider airfields do not have towers. They do not have an ATIS. You know, you're not getting necessarily updated METARs while you're airborne in a glider at your local glider port. So you get very good at judging wind speed and direction from the air just by looking at cues. on
There
the ground.
are
Look at like which way the trees are
ooh,
swaying. for
1,
example.
2,
Now, one thing I've been told, I
3,
learned
6
this in
runways at this
glider ground
airport.
school. I don't know if this is actually true, but this is what
Tell you
we were
what,
taught.
we'll land on this one that
If
we
you
can
look at
see
a
straight in front of
farmer's
us.
field, look which way
I'll
the
pilot off.
majority of the cows are oriented. Apparently, allegedly, cows like to stand with their butts into the wind.
They do. Yep.
So if you see
Can-
like a
can
big, if
fully
you see like
confirm.
Gear down.
if you see like 100 cows in a field and like 80 of them are all
Flaps set
facing
to
the
stage
same
1.
way, you can probably guess. that
Okay, now
that's
you've
the
seen that. Let's actually
orientation of
put
that's the wind
this
direction,
thing
that
on the
cows, 80
ground.
cows out of 100 all have their butts into the wind.
So there's a
Flaps
there's a minimum
stage
cow
2.
ratio.
Yeah.
This
Let's,
isn't like one of those times when you say, "Yeah, Murph, this is how it's done," and then I tell people in the real world,
Rudder
and then they look at
overreacting.
me, you know.
No, I swear, Murph, that I legitimately learned that in glider pilot ground school.
Oh,
Whether or not it is
Slipping it
true,
down,
I
slipping
cannot
it down,
say,
slipping
because
it
every time I look
down.
at a farmer's field, cows seem to be scattered and pointed in all all directions at random.
Watch that
I
airspeed.
live around cows here. There are a lot of cows here around me, and we also, because we live near the sea, we have relatively strong winds, right? And I can absolutely vouch for that fact that cows will put their butt in the wind, and same as horses actually.
This is
It
not a
will just-
controlled approach.
you
What
do
the
same, right?
frick?
If you make a phone call, you'll
I
just
should go around.
back to the wind.
That's a really long runway, so I'm not going to.
All right.
Because I can
So,
correct.
There you go, folks. There's your aviation fact of the day. If you, and this applies to powered aircraft as well, if you need to make an emergency off-field landing, say in a farmer's field or on the side of a highway or something like that, and you need to know the wind direction so you know which direction to land your aircraft in when you're making your
See all that
emergency landing,
jumpiness?
that's one of
It
the
might
ways
be
you can judge which way the
the
wind is
sim
blowing
jumping,
is
or
by
it
looking
might be my
for herd
inputs.
cows.
Either way, that was a nice landing. We are down.
So if
See
you
a
want
good
to land,
indication.
Welcome to Prague.
I just love the comments coming in. It's like, that's a moving story. And then they're like, cows don't make phone calls.
They do.
Let's taxi along now.
You don't see them.
And get ready for everyone coming in on
doing their private thing.
Yeah.
the perpendicular runway.
Everyone knows cows make phone calls.
Yes, of course. But sometimes the reception is quite spotty.
Oh my god.
No, I hit the wrong button. No, I failed. That's the one I meant to hit.
I really like to milk out their calls.
Wait, there's already a few people here ready to judge the landings.
Something I learned.
So we'll go over and
in a
join
wet- being
them.
from a wet climate, which I wouldn't have thought about, but my flight instructor told me. I think way into my flight instruction, we always looked for places to land. That was one of the things he taught us. Always be looking. And he mentioned, well, when it's starting to get wet like this, because Oregon gets very wet. So when it's
Well,
starting
this
to get
runway has
damp
big
like this,
X's
you
on it,
really
so
gotta
maybe
be
they're not gonna
careful,
land
because
on this
You do
one.
not want to land in a wet field.
This is a disused
No, I-
runway.
I think that we've had too much cow talk. We need to get on another topic.
Oh.
So maybe they're going to use...
No
No,
sound.
they
effect
are
for
going
that
to
one,
use... They're
Peter.
going to have to use the runway I used.
Silence.
Or they're all coming in on this disused one.
That.
I think they're all going to come in on this disused one, that's my guess. They're not going to care that it's disused.
Everyone
just
goes
gonna
quiet
land
'cause
on
we're all
it
trying to
anyway.
think of something better
Oh,
than that.
move
Yeah.
along.
This is the direction they're coming in from.
Not a disaster. Yeah.
That said,
Or cowbell.
there is one there coming in.
Airbus A420 has no beef with this.
All right. All right. Here's a question for Chad. This is not at all aviation related, but be on an honor system. Because this is one of those things.
We'll keep an
that
eye on them.
logically,
We'll
when
see
you're
where
a
they're
kid, it
headed.
makes sense. When you're an adult, you obviously know better.
It looks like they're all heading in
So
for
type 1 in the chat.
us.
Again, honor system.
Yeah,
no
they're coming
judging.
for us.
If when you were younger, when you were a child, if you legitimately thought that chocolate milk came from brown cows and white
No,
milk came
that's...
from white
No,
cows,
nobody thought that.
type 1 in the chat.
We're not
Otherwise-
stupid.
I will admit to that. I thought it makes sense when you're a kid.
Does.
Logically makes
Fully
sense.
makes
right?
sense.
No, that's idiots.
We also had banana milk and strawberry milk. That made it very confusing.
Did you never milk a banana?
Moving on. Moving.
The moment that came out of my mouth, I said, wait a
Yes.
minute.
Okay, come off the
This
runway.
is not the correct stream.
Should have said that. Should not have
Buffalo
said
wings come from buffalo's wings.
This is now not an approved maneuver.
Can't breathe. Oh, it's just like, wait, that was said. Okay, what do we do? Smile and nod. Brilliant. Yeah.
We're coming up on Prague. Here's a
We'll
question.
clip that.
Does anyone know, is the Charles Bridge, the very famous landmark in Prague, does anyone know if it's underflyable in a flight sim?
Oh no.
Okay, let's go see if we can see people coming
Figure it
in.
out.
Yeah, we should find out.
Wait, a bridge? Where?
The
My,
Charles
uh,
Bridge in Prague.
My group is finding that almost all of them are. Well, if they're high
There's
enough.
gonna be carnage.
It turns
Ray-
out that the bridges that look like you can't go through them, you can. You can fly right through them.
Raymond Gosman says, "Don't try." Well, Raymond,
Don't try.
I'm not a coward, so
Oh.
I will definitely try.
From the top shelf.
Here we go, they should start popping in
And we're back.
any
Thanks for-
second.
Just when we thought he was out, he pulled himself back in again.
Another coward CD. Let's see some moves. Then.
Yeah, that was really good.
Jeez.
Actually, at the airport, it seems like.
Where's that bridge, by the way?
What they're all doing.
Cool Nebo says, I'm not a coward. This is a hazardous attitude. Yes, if you ever take a PPL training, you do pilot decision making. It is now a mandatory part of the training. It's at least a 1 day, maybe 2 day course you take on learning how not to make stupid decisions when you're a pilot. And you learn all about the hazardous attitudes.
They're all
And yes, that is
overflying
definitely
the
one of them,
field.
saying something like, I'm not a coward.
Not landing,
Hey,
which is
check this
interesting.
out.
It's the macho attitude, right? Or the
Yeah.
macho.
PD, I'm coming in for landing. We'll stop this time. It's a normal approach.
That's a normal approach.
Yes, in my book it is.
Normal
I can't
tactical
see anybody
Yes.
popping into land.
I didn't overfly it at all.
Yeah, I saw you going into the distance. It's like, there you go.
Yeah, it's like, uh-oh.
He's filming.
This is not working. I was totally expecting to get some landings, but I don't. Are they all rerouting to come in? Oh, they're all coming in from different angles.
So
But there are some that have realised
here's
it's a
the thing, folks,
disused
about
runway.
Pilot decision making and hazardous attitudes. You would
They're
never
coming in
do
the other
things like
one.
this in real life, because it is dangerous, and safety is always number one.
Oh, here's
for
one coming in.
aviation. Always. No,
Look
it's
at
not-
this
I'm not
guy.
even joking.
The
This is
86 Beaver.
legitimately serious
And it's a
discussion.
closed runway.
Here we go.
Just
So, safety is always first in real aviation. But
I don't think his wheels are down.
Flight sim, you can
Oh,
do
they
all
popped
these
in.
Stupid,
Well-
ridiculous, unsafe
You
things you would never
bounced.
do in real life.
And now you're not on the
because there
runway.
is no danger. It's
That's not
You're
safe.
not hurting anyone. You're not damaging.
Bounce,
the
bounce,
aircraft,
bounce,
you're
bounce.
hurting
Go around.
the ground. So
That's
get
not
that out of
good.
your
Nope, that
system
was bad.
in flight sim, doing ridiculous, stupid things that are unsafe, because you can't do them in real life. But they
just,
sure are. They sure are fun.
Anybody else coming in?
On the fleet bridges, but nobody saw that.
Oh,
Oh, this
yeah,
camera
I
doesn't
don't
move fast
believe you.
enough.
Video or
Do it
do
again.
it again.
I'll do it again.
Whee!
Yes.
Oh, there we go. Here's one.
Or at least I'll try.
Someone did get in trouble
He's got no wheels either.
last year for underflying a bridge.
You're gonna come down with no wheels? Your wheels are
Yeah,
not
he
out.
does not like it.
Oh, you just realised in the last second, I think. Going around.
The Instagram algorithm recommended me a video yesterday. I personally think it was staged because people are going for clout. It was still stupid and dangerous, even if it was staged.
Oh. F.
Oh, let's see. Oh, F's in the chat.
Oops. But that should have been fine, right?
What?
I think the center one was.
I wonder if I can speed this camera up. It's really slow.
So the video I saw on Instagram.
There we
yesterday,
go.
It was a Cessna 172 on final at an uncontrolled airport, and they
That's what we want.
allegedly cut off.
How am I
the
going to
crop
see these
duster
landings if
front.
I can't be as fast as these
And
people
then
are going?
as a result, the crop duster flew over top of them as they were taxiing off the runway and dumped their load of, fertilizing fluid on top of the Cessna.
There we go. Someone's
And I'm
coming
pretty
in.
Sure that's staged. I don't think any real pilot is stupid enough to do that. But people were acting
Keep
in
hitting
the video
5.
like it was. They were
Run!
playing
When they're
games,
flying a
like-
crop
Nah, we're
duster,
too
they're
slow.
a bit,
Yeah,
We're going to miss
I
it.
don't know.
wild.
If you hit 5, it
What's
resets
redneck?
your camera. It's
Special
really
kind
annoying.
of pilot. It's
Yes.
really most fun.
Oh god, my drone's
Get
come
off
back
my
to being crawling
Yeah.
for some reason.
Maybe it was his private airstrip as well.
I'm looking for the castle that's on this. Well, maybe
Six
that's
Figure
it.
says, I saw
Got a
that
castle.
video.
Flying over it.
If true, the crop duster should go to jail. Yeah, I mean,
Here's one.
even
Here's
if
one.
it's
Here's one. We
staged,
got it now.
it's still incredibly stupid and dangerous. So even if it was planned, even if both pilots were on the
Why
radio
did the
communicating
wheels
with each other,
not-
even if the whole thing was a setup just for internet points, it's still stupid.
Oh, there
and
we
you
go.
should not do ridiculous, dumb things in real aircraft to get clout on the internet, like that guy who parachuted out of his own aircraft. He lost his license. You know what I'm talking about, right? What's his name?
Yeah, what's his name?
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Anyways, real planes are not toys, and safety should always be the #1 priority. And don't record yourself doing stupid things so you can post on the internet. to get
Bounce, bounce, bounce. Why do people
But
like bouncing on the
in
landings?
Microsoft Flight Sim, you can do all the stupid, ridiculous, crazy things you want, and it's awesome when you do, because there is no safety risk. Alright, I'm gonna try to find her some bridges here.
I'm looking for the bridges.
On the last
Man, so
leg.
many name tags.
I'm just following the river. I figured the bridges will cross the river.
We're gonna come in with this guy.
Does make
That's
sense.
usually how it works with bridges, yes.
Yes.
I don't know how fast or slow he's going.
I got a
Not that
question
fast.
at pub trivia wrong last week, or my team did, not exclusively me, although I was concerned to it. The question was true or false. Does the Danube run through Prague? And we said true.
Ooh, that's not looking too safe.
No, apparently that's false. Apparently the Danube does not go through Prague.
Whoa, you have like no control sliding all over the runway.
They turning final now.
Your
Alright, I'm,
passengers are being
normal
sick.
flight, so you can do your bridge.
okay, I'm also focused on
This
the
guy
moment.
Yeah, that's
Doing a
said he
better
just,
job than you
nah,
did.
you know, runway's just a concept, just a suggestion.
Alright,
okay.
let me know when you're on short final, Peter.
when I was owning it, you weren't even.
Well, you didn't tell me.
This guy, hover, hover, hover. Oh,
Bigger the miracle, the
bounce.
smaller the audience. Murphy's law, right?
Right.
If you
right.
bounce, you should go around. Nope,
I think I
he's
can
just
see the
hovering.
bridge.
He's not on the ground.
Starting to recognize some
He's
landmarks.
just hovering.
Pretty lined up here. 2 red, 2 white. 14 knots.
Oh, he's
port,
slowing down now. He must have
12
touched
knots,
down.
that's fine. That's fine.
What I'm doing now, folks, super fun in the sim. I would probably... Whoa, F's in the chat for Nick Rath, who collided with the bridge in the Ornithopter.
That looks like
It's a big plane.
that's
For
all
flight.
of them. Well, do anybody else coming in to land?
Oh, okay, saved, I recovered. I hit the water there for a second. Now I'm off track. Oh, I did make it, okay. Whoa, this is getting dicey, folks.
You landing, Peter.
I make such a mess.
I'll see your landing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Here we go.
Oh,
There's
it's
a
so
line
nice.
of bridges. I see. There's a whole line here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh!
Buttersoft.
Oh.
Oh.
Best landing ever, Peter.
Yeah, no,
Cool.
seriously.
Oh, there's 2 of them. Here we go. That was pretty good.
I mean, did you even land? You know, you were just appeared there.
I slew to the runway.
Can't get the speed right in this drone.
It was actually the bridge before the Charles Bridge.
He's got that down. That's nice.
I
Yep.
lost mine out. Let me try that again.
Who
will
else
take
we
a second
got?
attempt at this.
You're down. Oh, one more. Are you gonna bounce like all the rest of them flying that plane? No, you're holding a nice hover. You're probably not gonna bounce. Look at that. This guy, whoever this guy is, he knows how to fly. Nope.
Do we have anyone from Czechia?
Runway is just a suggestion.
Or Prague specifically in the chat today?
Right. Okay. We've landed. We're here. We've had a lot of fun. Thank you to everyone who's watched the stream. I'm going to call that a night. Oh my god.
Islands?
Did anybody see how that airliner just landed with like one wing in the
Yeah, we
runway?
have one. Brilliant.
Yes, we have.
My god.
All right. Well, we're very excited to be
Right.
flying over your home country today.
All right.
landing in
Cheers, everyone.
Prague.
Have a good
Very
evening. Have a
beautiful
good
city, by the
weekend.
way. When I'm not flying underneath
And
bridges, I
we'll
get
see you next week.
shots.
Bye for now.